All heavens sign in from Naruto, Chapter 261 to 280. Chapter 261 Onoki, S-Curve Saving Village Strategy. Wait Yi-Feng-kun, quote. There is something to discuss. Please put out the fire first. Although Mabui didn't know what Yi-Feng was going to do, she instinctively felt that Yi-Feng was about to make a big move. However, Yi-Feng didn't pay any attention to Mabui's plea for mercy. The thunder cannons are all activated. And let me put out the fire. How to put out fire? Then, Yi-Feng's eyes were slightly cold, and he turned his palm, saying, how many floors should a bag of rice resist? Then, the golden ball in the palm shot out instantly. It emitted a dazzling golden light. Hum. Boom. After the golden light, the wind and thunder gorge is full of smoke and dust. Boulders fly. A huge canyon was instantly obliterated into flat ground. The corpses of the ninjas in Kumogakure village were all over the place, their flesh and blood mixed with rocks. The whole scene is like purgatory on earth. Cruel. Cruel. But Yi-Feng killed without hesitation. The village of Kumogakure has been eyeing the village of Konoha for many years. On the border of the Fire Nation. Every year a large number of Konoha ninjas are killed in battle. Are they not pitiful? Don't they have wives, daughters and sisters? Not to mention, Reikage also carefully planned an attack of this scale this time. As the so-called murderer is always killed. Since the village of Kumogakure chose to do it. That night wind will satisfy them. So, Reikage of Kumogakure village died in battle. The main force was destroyed. The remaining old, weak, sick and disabled in the village, Yi-Feng did not choose to cut the weeds and eradicate the roots. Because he didn't worry about anyone getting revenge at all. The strength between them is like a cloud of mud. To be honest, hatred cannot be completely eliminated. Envy, jealousy and hatred are human nature. Even if the ninja world is at peace, these emotions will still exist objectively. Hours later, Tsuchikajinoki sat in his office, frowning, enjoying a massage from his granddaughter, Kuratsuchi. Grandpa, the Kumogakure village is over. What about us? Can we defeat the killing god Yi-Feng? Kuratsuchi sighed. A few hours ago, Tsuchikage Onoki is also holding a meeting to discuss how to deal with their annexation by the village of Konoha. Now, the intelligence ninja brought back the news that Kumogakure village was destroyed. 3,000 or 4,000 ninja elites plus a fourth-generation Reikage just hung up. Onoki felt completely unbelievable. He really wanted to slap the face of the ninja who brought the information back. Then yelled at him. You are a fake ninja. All you bring back is fake news. But, although Onoki wanted to lie to himself, he also understood that the truth was the truth. But, this Yamanaka Yi-Feng so decisive. Is it so cruel? This moment. Onoki seems to have forgotten that he sent 10,000 Iwagakure ninjas to kill 3 generations of Reikage with wheel tactics. Are the countless Iwagakure ninjas killed by Reikage not human? Isn't his Onoki cruel? Just an obvious double-standard dog. Let's go down. Onoki slammed the table with a slam, and said with a determined look, the man can bend and stretch, and he will turn it over in the future. Is Onoki convinced? Of course convinced. After all, he did not have the strength to destroy Kumogakure village. But is Onoki willing? Of course not reconciled. He has been dominating the village of Iwagakure for so many years, and now wants him to hand over his power. How could he be willing? So, he was going to take a detour, and he would first stabilize the night wind and then talk about it. Who will kill the deer in the future? Kurathashi also breathed a sigh of relief. Calm down, calm down. In the ninja world, there has been a war that hurts each other at every turn over the years. Does this really make sense? Now Yamanaka Yekas is stronger than all ninjas. The village of Konoha has also achieved unprecedented prosperity. There is absolutely no need to follow Kumogakure, footsteps in Iwagakure village. Look at the Sunagakure village next door. Now a rich flow of oil. So, there's nothing wrong with them following Konoha village right now. Anyway, in the future, turn over again. Grandpa is right. The current Iwagakure village is far inferior to Konoha. We will lose in battle, and we will only be completely destroyed if we resist. So let's take a peaceful and cooperative approach first, and when Iwagakure becomes stronger, we can hang and beat Konoha. And I see that Yamanaka Yefeng has a lot of girlfriends, and they die sooner or later. Kuretsuchi said, and he believed it. Kuretsuchi, the android project must be on the agenda soon. Onoki said. Regular ninjas can't deal with Yamanaka Yakuza though. But what about artificial ninjas? If Iwagakure village can cultivate an army of artificial ninjas that can use Jinten particle style for all members. Presumably even the Yamanaka Night Wind can't stop it. By the time. This ninja world is still my Onoki. ... After 2 hours. Came to the entrance of Iwagakure village. The whole village is surrounded by tall mountains, but it is a convenient place to defend. Yifeng shook his head. Ready to forcibly break the mountain. Whether the defense of Iwagakure village is strong enough. At this time, Tsuchikajinoki came out of it with his granddaughter Kuretsuchi. Oh, isn't this Yefeng-kun? Why are you free to come to our Iwagakure? Onoki smiled enthusiastically. Yeah, Yefeng-kun, why didn't you notify us in advance, so let's make some preparations in advance. Kuretsuchi also put on a smirk. See this scene. If Yifeng didn't know them well. It's not necessarily obvious that they were still worried about how to deal with Yifeng not long ago. Who said there was no notice? Didn't Tsunade write to you long ago? I also asked if you would like to be a subordinate ninja village of Konoha village. I see that you haven't responded, so you can only go on a business trip to ask your decision in person. Yifeng has never liked to force Shu and Wei's snake with these old yin. So, he directly put forward the purpose of this. To drop or not to drop? It's that simple question. Ha ha ha, this is a negligence of the old man. In fact, I have already written the submission to the Iwagakure village. I was going to send someone to the Konoha village in the next few days, but I didn't expect to bother Yefeng-kun. Make this extra trip. Onoki used his superb acting skills to explain what it means to not be fat. Oh, so you're willing to surrender. Took the surrender of Iwagakure village from Onoki. Probably glanced around. Well, it's rare for you to be so understanding of righteousness, so it seems that I don't need to do it myself. When Yifeng said this, there was a little regret on his face. This made Onoki's eyelids jump. How? You kid are really trying to destroy our Iwagakure village. Fortunately, the old man is witty. Understand the big truth of being able to bend and stretch. Now you have no chance to take action. I can accept your surrender on behalf of Konoha, but in order to show your sincerity, your granddaughter must go back to Konoha with me. Chapter 262 Moisturize the Silent Happy Life. Yifeng touched his chin. Onoki a meaningful look. To be honest. Can Yifeng not know Onoki's temper? He's such a hard, stinky old man who would surrender to Konoha in such a hurry. This clearly has other plans. So, to keep Kuretsuchi as a hostage in Konoha village, just to make Onoki wake up a little bit. Otherwise, the future leg shadow of your village. Ah no, the future Tsuchikage will be gone. This, Yoke's-kun, Kuretsuchi is the 4th generation Tsuchikage of the future of our village. Would you like someone else to take it as a hostage? How about I go myself? Onoki's mouth twitched. Everyone in the ninja world knows that there are many girls in Yefeng. There is a high probability that there is a serious lifestyle problem. If he were to take Kuretsuchi away, the consequences would be unimaginable. However, Yifeng's face darkened after hearing this. What do I want you a bad old man to do? Can you still count? Onoki, As your village is Konoha's affiliated ninja village, it's up to you to decide who will be the next generation Tsuchikage. Are you just a fake surrender? Yi Feng's voice fell. Immediately, a pressure was released from his eyes, which surprised Onoki. Yefeng-kun, that's not what the old man meant. Listen to my explanation. Onoki felt depressed. Does this guy get mad when he doesn't agree? This is eager to find a reason to destroy my Iwagakure village. The old man must be patient. At this time, granddaughter Kuretsuchi stood in front of Onoki. Her expression was flat, and she said in a cold voice. Grandpa, needless to say, let me go with him, I will take care of myself. Kuratashi's eyes are determined. Don't you just want me to be a hostage? This is nothing. But even if you are Yamanaka Yeka's. And don't even think about forcing me to do dirty things I don't want to do. Otherwise. My long legs are not just decorations. ... Fire Country. Short Book Street. This street in the land of fire is as lively as ever. Many regulars experience life here. Of course. The experience of life is dominated by men. At this time, a monk wearing a hat and dressed very strangely walked along the corner of the street into a dark and deep alley. End of the alley. One with slightly white hair. A man with black-rimmed glasses. Leaning against the wall, waiting for the monk to arrive. His name is Amato. He is one of the rare scientists in the ninja world. Sishuan, have you got the thing? Amato said with a faint smile. Well, I got it. I asked Daruta to take it from Jiraiya himself. Sishuan handed a vial of white liquid to Amato and asked, but is it really necessary to clone a Jiraiya? Jiraiya is one of the Sannin, and he is already considered to be one of the most powerful people in the ninja world. Amato shrugged and smiled indifferently. Of course, if it wasn't for your special situation, use your it is actually the most suitable to come to study the chakra cloning technology. Quote. Amato is working on a human cloning technology. Future. He was going to clone a Yamanaka Nightwind. But the cloning technology of the ninja world is special. If you want to clone the strong, you must experiment with the genes of the strong. Although Seizan is strong enough. But he is just a vessel for Otsutsuki Ashiki. The strength in the body comes from the deeds in the body. So, clone Sishuan is useless. Okay, let's push this matter forward as soon as possible. Shuansi gave Amato a solemn look. Kagaya unblocked. And that Yamanaka Nightwind seems to be stronger than Kagaya. Even if Seizan has the strength to hang Naruto and Sasuke in Bo Ren Juan. But he still feels a little apprehensive about the future. And the divine tree seed he stole back then has grown into a small tree now. But now the power of the divine tree is far from enough. Not to mention it bears fruit. So, want to deal with Yamanaka Nightwind? Just use science. But, as a mysterious boss, Yifeng is obviously not going to play science with Zansi. Just listen to the puddle in the corner. A quack sounded. Subsequently, a white mist drifted away. Yifeng appeared in front of Seizan and Amato. Sishuan, I finally found you. Yifeng curiously looked at the deed on Seizan's body. This seems to be a technique very similar to Yin Seal and Dantian Seal. He could feel that there was a not-so-weak chakra stored in Seizan's deed. That should be the foundation of Otsutsuki Ashiki. Yamanaka Yefeng, Kagaya really told you about me. Seizan narrowed his eyes slightly. There was a solemn look on his face. He sensed the aura of a supreme powerhouse in Yifeng. Amato, it seems that your cloning plan has no chance to be implemented unless you can escape from him. Seizan smiled lightly, and then disappeared. Although the night wind is strong. But, Seizan has always been very confident in his escape ability. As long as it doesn't float. He thought no one could kill him. But, Yifeng shook his head in disdain. Otsutsuki Ant-Man, do you think you can escape when you get smaller? Yifeng said as he reached out and grabbed the void in front of him. I see. A large golden hand made of chakra tore through the void and collapsed towards the other end of the entire alley. The power of this palm. It made the whole earth tremble. Boom. A low voice sounded. Seizon's body appeared on the ground in the distance. Otsutsuki Ashiki has not yet forged Kawagi into his spare vessel. So. He really hung up this time. This guy has the ability to make everything shrink and enlarge. In fact, it's quite good. It's a pity that it depends on where it is used. Yifeng shook his head. His eyes turned to Amato. Amato, you are talented, come back to Konoha with me. ... So far. All the crises left over in the ninja world were smoothed out by Yifeng. As for Momoshiki, a few of them. They are not worth Yifeng's hands at all. Konoha Next Generation is enough to get it done. 3 months later. All ninja villages in the ninja world, no matter how big or small, all claim to submit to the village of Konoha. Half-year later. All the daimyo of the ninja kingdoms in the ninja world declared that they would honor Yifeng as the king. They are willing to go to work on time and get paid. Then. The entire ninja world is finally unified. Yifeng in order to give back to the ninja world. He led the ninja elite to develop economy, culture, education, agriculture, technology, medical care, tourism, etc. In this world. Promote the development and progress of the entire ninja world. It only took 2 years. The ninja world has completely changed. Yifeng felt that his subordinates were already able to take the lead. Then. Yifeng began to lead his girls to live a happy life of traveling in the mountains and water and taking a bath with many people in the ninja world. Chapter 263 New World New Life. The happiness of mortals is short-lived. Because mortals have a lifespan limit after all. Even though the night wind has a long life. But he didn't have the skills to make mortals cultivate immortals. There is no way to prolong the life of the girls. Although everyone can keep their face immortal through yin seal. But except for Kagaya, Hinata, Tsunade, Enko, Karafushi, Terumi Mei, Sam, Shion, Ino. They can't accompany Yifeng for a lifetime. So. These days. The night wind has been a little gloomy. However. The system suddenly made a prompt sound. Ding. It is detected that the sign-in task in the world where the host is currently has been completed. Please go to the next world to sign in. After Yifeng heard the reminder from the system. Startled. Then he shook his head. System, I give up. Although my women can't accompany me through the whole life, I at least have to accompany them through this life. Yifeng is not a sable and forgetful person. They are all women of the night wind. Yifeng will not leave them alone. Don't make trouble, host. After the host goes to the next plane, the time node of the Hokage ninja plane will become suspended, and your sister will not know that you have left. After listening to the patient explanation of the system, Yifeng frowned. Suspended state, and this kind of black technology. At this time, Yifeng hugged from left to right, and asked for something at will with both hands, but he was thinking about it in his heart. The world of Hokage ninjas is actually just a world of high martial arts. Although ninjas seem to be able to move mountains and reclaim seas, they cannot escape the limitations of mortal bodies. But if I can go to some self-cultivation planes to sign in the future. After getting the exercises and medicinal pills there, wouldn't it be possible to make Hinata and the others immortals? Thought here. Yifeng confirmed to the system again. System, after I leave Hokage, will I come back in the future? System said, all heavens and myriad realms are host nurseries, but the host is too weak now. If you want to tear the void plane, you can't do it arbitrarily in the heavens and myriad realms, but you can do it in the future. Yifeng finished listening to the explanation the system gave him. I immediately understood. 2. He is now just a Jinden cultivator in a world of self-cultivation. Week 1. It is indeed a bit difficult to cross the heavens and the world on your own. But he hangs up. Getting stronger is not a dream. One punch, one galaxy, one palm, one plane. Reflect on the heavens to understand. System, where is the next plane? Yifeng asked curiously. According to Yifeng's speculation, if Hokage ninjas are one of the worlds, so could it be that other worlds are also those two-dimensional worlds that he was familiar with in his previous life? The Sea of Death does not divide. Could the next one be Reaper or One Piece? The next plane will appear randomly. Please prepare the host as soon as possible, and the system will store energy for the host to travel through. Good. Yifeng let out a long sigh of relief and called all the girls over. Come on. This last joy. ... Earth. Juxia City. Wagwo Mountain. The name of this mountain is Wagwo Mountain. Wagwo Mountain is not far from Juxia City. Hidden in a rolling mountain range. There is a villa-style house on Wagwo Mountain. At this time, two veteran gamers are playing a mobile game called Glory of the Canyon in a spacious room. Spicy chicken Lubin, can't you squat in Wen Izumi? Don't give it away, okay? And monkeys, you dare to arrest people with your spicy chicken equipment. Can you squat with Luban to warm Izumi? Hey, it's been a long time since I won, and this match has matched two idiots. I'm so depressed. It's really a canyon that can be reincarnated. Who will be spared by the sky? I'm speechless. After the teammates made some complaints, it didn't take long. Our Highland Tower was successfully pushed by the opponent. Then, teammates surrendered. See this scene. Yifeng put down the phone quite speechlessly, and looked at the teammates next to him with a bit of resentment in his eyes. Monkey. Let's play solo in the future, we'll play our own way, I won't take you anymore. Yifeng has been playing this game with monkeys for more than half a year. But the two of them seem to be cursed, always staying in the stubborn bronze rank. White silver seems to be a distant dream. Yifeng couldn't take it anymore. Master Feng, every time my teammates scold someone, they always scold your Lubin trash first, and then scold me as a monkey, so we can't rush to buy silver. You can't just blame my grandson, right? Yes. The user of the monkey is the monkey. His name is Sun Wukong. It is not the great sage equaling heaven, but the battle to defeat the Buddha. After Sun Wukong complained about Yifeng, he decisively grabbed the phone from his hand, pressed prepare, and then clicked team match. Master Feng, this is really not my old grandson doing things. My old grandson is a beast, and it is understandable that you can't play the games developed by your earthlings, but you are a down-to-earth earthling, why do you play too so scum? Sun Wukong said very unconvinced. Said my old Sun Kang. Then you might have to do some self-reflection first. Yes, my Lubin super ghost is not fake. But you are a monkey, can you go to the jungle? What do you mean by robbing my troops? You also use your skills to rob. Yifeng glanced at the monkey angrily. His Lubin level was suppressed by his teammate monkey, and his equipment was suppressed by teammate monkey. Can he not be super genius? Master Feng, but my old grandson is a fighter, and a fighter should keep moving forward. How can he go to the jungle to develop? This can't be done, Sun Wukong said with a firm look. He is fighting Holy Buddha. A warrior with a Kamigawa body. How can the jungle grow? Hear what the monkey said. Yifeng gave him a speechless look. Then he sighed heavily. Left the world of Hokage ninjas, he came to the world of Super Seminary. This world is a half fantasy half sci-fi world. There are gods, angels, and demons here. There are also various genetically modified super soldiers. It was difficult for Yifeng to tell what their strength was. But the world has many means to increase human lifespan. So, when Yifeng first came to this world, he was still a little excited. After all, it's here. Not only can he solve the lifespan problem of the girls in the Hokage world, you can also meet girls of all kinds, styles, and specifications. Yifeng felt that his life in the super god world would be quite exciting. However, After he came into this world, the system immediately issued the first sign in task. The sign in location is this mountain where Sun Wukong lives in seclusion. As usual, the sign in process was smooth at first. Sun Wukong probably thinks Yifeng is just a donkey who has gone the wrong way. So, he didn't interfere with Yifeng's check-in at all. And then, just 5 seconds before the system's sign-in countdown was over, this pit system is down. Before downtime, the system also reminded Yifeng very intimately not to leave the sign-in location. Be patient and wait for it to restart. Otherwise, if the check-in task fails because of leaving the check-in location, the system cannot guarantee what will happen to Yifeng. Then, Yifeng stayed in this ghost place for 300 years. 300 years. Understand for sure. A normal man. A normal male monkey. What a foggy life such a life is. Chapter 264_Nightwind's system is alive. Simply explain tilde. It was originally considering that Chaoshan is a modern society, so Yifeng was transliterated as Yefeng. But I feel awkward writing this. So I checked. The surname, Yi, exists objectively. So, don't spray me, why is the name in Hokage in the modern age tilde? The former can't be changed, and the latter will be changed back to Yefeng. ... Such a life. Sun Wukong seems to be enjoying it. But Yifeng couldn't take it anymore. To be honest. What kind of world is super seminary? Although there are many girls here, the legs are very long, the European style is very powerful, and the appearance is quite high. But the world is still quite scary. Like that, ultimate fear. A civilization capable of controlling nebula-level stars was dissipated in an instant. If there is no way for the night wind to open and hang in time to become stronger. He felt like he was going to get cold sooner or later. Stop playing. 1010 is a super ghost, and I'm still playing with wool. Thought here. Yifeng threw the phone on the table with a depressed face. Force quit the game. All he had to do was think about the horrible things in this world. I just feel like doing anything is useless. Don't, Lord Feng, if you don't take me, they will keep calling my grandson a primary school student. My grandson can't stand this. Sun Wukong pouted. So, according to Sun Wukong, Yifeng was the one who helped him block his hatred. As long as there is Lu Ban with the night wind, his Monkey King's monkey is not the best. Monkey, stop playing for now, I'll ask you a question first. Yifeng's expression suddenly became solemn. A rather profound question came to mind. You've probably lived for thousands of years, do you still have the goal of being a monkey? Yifeng asked. Target. Sun Wukong shook his head and said calmly, I used to have it. In the past, my old son fought Liang and fought demons, in order to help the master protect the mercy of this world. What about now? Yifeng asked again. Now, Sun Wukong grabbed a can of beer, clinking glasses with Yifeng, and then drank it. Now it's just eating and waiting to die, drinking and playing games. Other than that, I don't know what I want now. Do something. Longevity is the dream of many people. But is there a purpose after longevity? From the situation of Sun Wukong, most are gone. He is now completely addicted to games and beer. It became murky. Even the idea of going to the zoo to see the female monkey gradually lost his mind. Such monkey life can only be described by Foggrass. It's only become like this in 1,000 years. I don't know what those guys who have lived a few eternals are still after. Yifeng shook his head, showing a thoughtful look. There are many civilizations that have reached the level of creating gods in the super god universe. The various great gods there have long surpassed the lifespan limit. So, they can really keep their mentality intact. It's like you play a game with an infinite health bar. There is still a sense of achievement in the abuse of the computer at the beginning of the period. But after playing for a while, everything is boring. Those gods must be like that too. Those guys who have survived a few Eternals are different from my grandson. Look at that Angel and Leong, aren't they all doing this order or request? This can be regarded as forcibly creating a small goal for them. Sun Wukong said nonchalantly. Angels are the highest civilization in the known universe. They demanded that the known universe should follow the righteous order advocated by Queen Geisha. So, angels have achieved longevity. But they are still busy establishing what they think is the right order among the civilizations of the universe. Leong is an advanced god-making civilization that once set foot on the earth. They do not seek absolute justice. It is only required that all affiliated civilizations must ensure national peace and security. As if that's all there is to it. They can live a more purposeful life. It won't go down as decadent like a monkey. But, do these orders really make sense? Philosophical questions like this. Yifeng couldn't understand. After all, his lifespan is only 300 years. What can I do to understand the mentality of those who live on Eternal? Sometimes, my old son really hopes that the ultimate fear will swallow us directly. Sun Wukong opened another bottle of wine, then glanced at Yifeng and asked, Master Feng, do you really have any questions? The ultimate fear. Yifeng shook his head. To be frank. Although Yifeng seems to be omniscient and omnipotent. But, in general, the anime super seminary still has many pits. Not only logically incoherent. The anime has also changed its settings several times. The inconsistencies are numerous. It's like a joke. If it weren't for the beauty and figure of the girls, they were always online. And the model is super awesome. Yifeng may have long since abandoned the show. So, Yifeng couldn't explain the question raised by Sun Wukong. But all in all, ultimate fear is like aliens in the eyes of Earthlings. Everyone says that there are 9 out of 10 aliens in the universe. But humans just can't find any clues about aliens. Humans are still worried that aliens will destroy the Earth. Isn't it like the ultimate fear? Apparently it looks like it exists. But no one has ever seen what the ultimate fear looks like. So, Sun Wukong asked Yifeng to answer whether there is ultimate fear. Yifeng really couldn't tell. After all, before he was struck by lightning. The Super Seminary only played Leong Heavenly Path 1. Yifeng wasn't sure what the ultimate fear the screenwriter wanted to express was at all. Just when Yifeng felt that these questions made him feel a little big. A long-lost voice almost made Yifeng's soul agitated. Ding! System restarted successfully. Self-test is in progress. Fog grass. Hear the ecstasy of the system. Yifeng jumped up from the sofa at once. Dog system. Are you alive at last? Yifeng has been trapped in this ghost place for 300 years. These 300 years. He put so much yearning life cannot experience. I can only fool around with a stinky monkey in this ghost place. He's had enough of these days. But, the system still does not change its high-cold nature. He didn't care about Yifeng's complaints at all. The system restarted successfully. Please enter the correct power-on password for the host. Subsequently, a dialog box pops up. Yifeng entered the power-on password with his mind. Paint5959 Paint08. Good luck. Yifeng's memory is not bad. The password is correct. Ding. Check-in countdown continues. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Quote. Congratulations to the host for successfully signing in and getting a reward, Grandmaster of Wanji Mobile Games. The system sound fell. The long-lost ineffable power instantly swept away in Yifeng's body. Although Yifeng misses this experience very much. But, this special code mobile game Grandmaster. Chapter 265 I will take you to eat chicken with Lubin. System. Quote. You can't be a human after being resurrected. Do you think this is really appropriate? Yifeng felt quite speechless in his heart. He signed this for 300 years. The final reward is a mobile game Grandmaster. This is less reliable than blade throwing. And 300 years ago, there was no mobile game in this world at all, right? Is it really okay for you to fool me like that? Master, please respect yourself, this system has never been human. The system patiently responded Yifeng. Don't talk nonsense. Yifeng squinted his eyes and said in his heart, I'll ask you, trap me here for 300 years. And then give me such a garbage reward, will your conscience hurt? This is really not because Yifeng is careful and has to get by with a system. It's really because he's been so suffocated over the years. Anyway, everyone knows it. Host, are you stupid? The function of this system is to help the host realize luck rewards, and it cannot determine what luck itself is. The system reminded Yifeng very intimately. Can't you change your posture? My ears are about to get calluses when I hear your words. Yifeng was full of contempt in his heart. It's the same thing over and over again. You have to be a real porter. Then can you bring me some more stuff? For example, give me the ability to snap my fingers. Actually, 300 years ago this place was a great luck. This system was also forced to restart under the impact of this luck. 300 years have passed, and the original atmosphere is only now. Does the host understand? System representation. I am also helpless. But I am a system with no emotions. You yourself are out of luck. Why do you always blame the system? The system wants to shut itself down for a while. This moment. Yifeng also felt that he wanted to shut himself up first. According to this system. Originally. He can probably sign in directly here to get a reward of the strongest king rank. And now. Shrinking into stubborn bronze. What about trouble? Master Feng, what are you doing? Hurry up and prepare, let's start another round, my old grandson must rush to White Silver today. Sun Wukong saw Yifeng standing still for a long time. Weird in my heart. What does it mean to be in a daze? Still the best game ever. Yifeng glanced at the monkey impatiently. Play the game, play the game. Play games all day long. Can you eat while playing games? But rewards are taken. Can't pretend to be in the game. Yifeng was worried that his state of mind might be inaccessible. Then he silently double row with the monkeys as usual. After a successful match, the two successfully grabbed Luban and Monkey with their superb hand speed. Hui, I am Hui Thief 6, how about Luban? Lanolin King, I don't want to explain, as long as an exclamation mark appears on the other party's head, it means that the other party is dead. Lanolin King, so Monkey, you can do it. Sun Wukong, Spicy Chicken, shut up. Wang Zhaokun, this looks cool. Luban, don't worry, I'll take you to eat chicken. Then, games start. Monkey and Luban are very proficient in using flash to grab the right to use the bot lane. Then hand in recovery. Sun Wukong, don't ask. CD early. Beeping teammates who don't know the truth. The enemy reached the battlefield with a pinch. Sun Wukong used his skills very skillfully to start fighting with Yifeng. But what makes Sun Wukong more different is he couldn't even grab a single soldier this time. Master Feng, I feel something is wrong. Sun Wukong glanced at Yifeng's screen while operating. Yifeng is relying on the perfect operation. All the extra monetary rewards for each minion are all smoothly in your pocket. Equipment updates are fast. Monkey, hide in the grass and listen to my command. Yifeng ordered. Then, Sun Wukong's obedient cat entered the grass. Do the old concealment. Public channel. Luban, come on, our crazy monkey is finally gone. Luban, but with your equipment, you also want to grab the mid lane. Luban, isn't this going to give away people's heads? Luban, I managed it. Renji, come and kill me. Sure enough. The opponent went down the road after seeing Yifeng's words. The support position immediately went through the jungle to help the mid lane mage. and the remaining Direnji is preparing to take Luban's blood happily. However, Luban and Monkey played a wave of double teaming. Yifeng took the blood in his bag. Direnji, Direnji, my head is buzzing a bit. Direnji, didn't Brother Monkey go to Huo Middle Road? Direnji, isn't Luban a trustee? Direnji, can you be a little more honest in your life? Direnji, what do you think? Akko, look at Mud Girl. I will play the blue buff again. Direnji. Yifeng's mouth twitched. Knew it. Too young. Next. With the advantage of one blood, Yifeng started to roll blood balls smoothly. It didn't take long. With the cooperation of the middle lane, Yifeng scored another double kill in the bottom lane. By the way, who went deep into his wild area to play the blue buff was also accepted. And then, Luban took the monkey to successfully break through the opponent's bottom tower. I'm going. We broke the tower so soon. This is the first time. Sun Monkey shouted excitedly. Obviously. Sun Wukong has become accustomed to the headwinds in the bottom lane. He never thought that they would break each other's towers. And then, Yifeng gave up the monkey. He started at his own pace. Replenish troops, brush wilds, catch people, play in groups, and push towers. An amazing record of 15-0/0 was quickly achieved. Worry. This special meow is the king who came to the Bronze Bureau to fish. Is the stubborn bronze now so difficult? It's too much, boss. Is it alright to use Luban's carry? No wonder this big guy wants to lead a monkey in the bot lane. It turns out that he is trying to balance his strength. Kneeling to the boss. Sun Monkey looked at the discussions of these people on the screen. Cannot help but fell into contemplation. After half an hour, he looked at Yifeng silently. Master Feng, are you hanging up? Sun Wukong frowned. Besides, Sun Wukong really couldn't think of any reason why Yifeng suddenly became supernatural. Opening. My special code is indeed open, and I have opened a big one. Yifeng replied speechlessly. Subsequently, when Yifeng's record became 30/0/0, the other party finally couldn't stand the stimulation. Withdrew from the game. That's the win. Sun Wukong first experienced the feeling of winning while lying down. It feels like. That's it. Hey. Yifeng sighed and quit the game. Throwing the phone aside. Really? After everything reaches its peak, it will become boring. Stop playing. I will never touch mobile games again. Chapter 266 _ The gluttonous food is coming. Will the girl be far away? Yifeng lay down on the sofa, showing an unrequited look. Is this the reward for signing in for 300 years? That's it. Look. His super seminary journey is destined to be full of ups and downs. No way. God's will. Master Feng, what are we going to do if we don't play mobile games? Apart from mobile games, there's not much else to do. Sun Wukong shrugged. In recent years, the technological development of the Earth has advanced by leaps and bounds. All kinds of games come out. The behavior patterns of Monkey King and Yifeng have been changed. Games are pretty much all they have. It's no fun. You probably misunderstood the word, play. No wonder you're a monkey. Yifeng raised the corner of his mouth and glanced at Sun Wukong. His system is alive. Yifeng doesn't need to be trapped in Wagwo Mountain anymore. So, does he even play a yarn game? The outside world is wonderful. The world of hanging on the wall is not helpless. Now, the time node of the super seminary world is almost the same as the original plot. Yifeng felt that he had to go out and make waves. What an angel, a demon, a blazing sun. Various girls. Yifeng had to have a cross-civilization exchange with them. At this time, the sound of a helicopter suddenly came from a distance. Yifeng Tensagen opened his eyes, glanced into the distance, and said nonchalantly, Lao Du is here, this guy seems to be missing for a while. Old Du is Dukao. Sun Wukong knew him when he was in the Tang dynasty. At the beginning, Sun Wukong and Li Yong faced off. All the way to the Lingxiao, where Pan Zhen was sitting. War is imminent. If it wasn't for Dukao to come forward and give each side a step. Sun Wukong and Pan Zhen still don't know what the hell they want the Earth to look like. Not much effort. A high-end helicopter with a sense of technology was parked on the tarmac outside the villa. Dukao got off the helicopter wearing a light green military uniform. Wukong, Yefeng, stay safe. Dukao greeted with a solemn expression. The night wind appeared very suddenly. And it's been 300 years. It is impossible for a normal human being to live for 300 years. So, Dukao knows that Yifeng is not an ordinary person. But Dukao knew that Yifeng was a little unusual. But he did not find the existence of super genes of other civilizations in Yifeng's body. Judging from the secret scan results of the super seminary, the genes in Yifeng's body are the most authentic human genes on Earth. Unremarkable. Nothing special. And this is something that Dukao has always been unable to understand. When will the genes of the people on Earth be able to achieve immortality? However, fortunately, Yifeng has been hanging out with monkeys since he appeared. It didn't interfere with the outside world. So, Dukao has gradually become accustomed to their combination. To be honest, for Earth, Dukao is the outsider. No matter how strange Yifeng is, he is always an Earthling. Old Du, why are you free to come to us today? Haven't you been busy doing some genetic engineering? Yifeng opened a can of beer and handed it to Dukao. I came to Wukong to discuss something. Dukao took the beer from Yifeng's hand, but he didn't seem to want to drink it at all. Let's go inside and discuss it in detail. Hey, dealing with people who don't drink really makes me feel a little boring. Yifeng shook his head. Because of Sun Wukong. Yifeng has been in contact with Dukao many times. But because Dukao doesn't drink alcohol. So Yifeng always felt that his temperament with Dukao was not particularly compatible. The three entered the villa. Dukao sat upright and looked at Sun Wukong with a dazzling gaze. Wukong, Huasha is going to form a super special team called Shangbing Company. This time I am here to invite you to come out and be the captain of the Shangbing Company. The gluttonous flagship has entered the Silver River system. Dukao has analyzed the trajectory of the Teoti flagship through the DEN-03 reconnaissance and anti-reconnaissance satellites. Their target is definitely the Earth. After Dukao came to the conclusion that Gluttonous was about to invade the Earth, he immediately established contact with Li Yong. Dukao first asked Reina, the goddess of the sun, to help start the first batch of super soldiers on Earth. Then he began to think about the candidate for the captain. Dukao felt that a team like this must be handed over to a strong person to lead the team. If not, they could be a mess of sand. So, the first person Dukao thought of was Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong is not from Earth. But he is the god of war on Earth. He is also the only god of war on Earth that can make Li Yong jealous. Captain. Not interested. I'm only interested in playing games and drinking beer now. Sun Wukong shook his head. Clinked glasses with Yifeng. Then blew another beer. However, if you really need a captain, I think Lord Feng is very good. Although Sun Wukong is not a man of the world. But he is still very sensitive in terms of emotions. Sun Wukong knew that Yifeng could no longer stay here. After all, the game doesn't taste good anymore. Feng Yi is absolutely forced to change. Actually Yifeng was preparing to say a few words of modesty. But he was interrupted by Dukao before he finished speaking. You may not quite understand what the Earth is about to face. There is an aerospace-class civilization fleet with a very poor reputation, which is heading for the Earth. Dukao said solemnly, to put it bluntly, you still don't understand this universe. Although Dukao knew Yifeng was not an ordinary Earthling. But What the Earth has to face this time is the invasion of an aerospace-grade civilization. To defend against this invasion, he has already sent out a request for help to the god-made civilization Leung. So, there must be a powerful god of war on Earth. In the eyes of Dukao, the night wind is definitely not good. That, Yifeng wanted to say. Don't say I don't understand the world anymore. In the previous world, anyone who said that to me would end up being slapped in the face. But he didn't wait for Yifeng to finish speaking. The communicator on Dukao's wrist suddenly made a high-pitched siren. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Huh. Dukao frowned. Judging by the sound, this time the alert level is quite high. Open the communicator. A big screen full of technology is presented in front of everyone. Lianfeng, what happened? Dukao asked with a solemn look. Old Du, Teoti's advance team was discovered on Airport Road. Now the regular army in Juxia City is gathering, and we have already sent Chiangwei out. Lianfeng reported with a solemn gaze. Ever since the Super Seminary discovered the Teoti flagship in the Silver River system, they are always concerned about the dynamics of gluttonous. But Lianfeng never expected it. There is still something to this glutton. They even secretly sent an advance team to Earth ahead of schedule. This time the situation is serious. It seems that I have to command the battle myself, Dukao said. Chapter 267 _ Go to a class for gluttonous. Dukao's eyes were solemn. He was once the supreme commander of Northstar in the Denuo civilization. After the Denuo galaxy was destroyed by the sun god of the blazing sun, Dukao wandered to Earth with Lianfeng and others. Now he is a senior general of Huasha. So, Dukao is well aware of what the invasion of an aerospace-grade civilization means. The weapons and equipment of gluttonous far exceed the existing weapons and equipment of the Earth. Conventional troops have no experience in combating space-class civilizations at all. Not to mention, Teoti is also a powerful animal civilization. They already have a physique that far exceeds that of human beings on Earth. Combined with advanced exoskeleton armor, excellent melee ability. So, Dukao felt that with the current strength of Juxia City, it would not be easy to defeat this gluttonous advance team. The screen cuts to the scene. The tragic situation on the airport road was quickly uploaded from the holographic screen. There were only about a dozen gluttonous warriors in the gluttonous advance team. Each of them is over 2 meters tall. Under the foot is a flight pedal full of technology. Holding an energy weapon. Invincible. A large number of tank helicopters were smashed by gluttonous. Completely one-sided situation. After Dukao took over the command of the scene, he immediately issued a series of combat policies, which barely blocked the gluttonous attack. Then, he gave Sun Wukong a serious look. Wukong, you have also seen the situation at the scene. Now that the Shangbing Company has not been formally established, can I ask you to support the airport road this time? Dukao said meaningfully. Just a few miscellaneous soldiers, still using my old grandson to go out. Sun Wukong shook his head. These years. The rapid development of Earth science and technology. It is not difficult to see from the update speed of various games. That skin is new every 3 days. All kinds of attractive packages are also varied. The R&D capability is so high. So, is the Earth developing so slowly in terms of military technology? Can't even handle a team of gluttonous vanguards. What about trouble? Sun Wukong doesn't believe it. In the face of Sun Wukong's doubts, Dukao said with a slightly embarrassed expression, we can handle it. But, said here. Dukao sighed. He originally wanted to take this opportunity to invite Sun Wukong to come out. But Sun Wukong obviously didn't intend to give him this chance. At this time, Yifeng, who had been silent for a while, suddenly raised his brows. Ding. Please go to the airport road to check in. The mission is limited to 60 minutes. Hear the sound of the task prompt. Yifeng praised the system invaluable. It seems that this system is still a bit conscientious. Just undercut his reward. Now give him a supplementary question. Nice. Monkey, if you don't go, I can go. I haven't moved my muscles for a long time, so let's use this group of gluttonous eaters to open up meat. Yifeng looked at Du Cao lightly and said, Old Du, take this from here to the airport. Roadmap is open for me to take a look at. Quote. No way. It will not go down the mountain for 300 years. Yifeng didn't know how to go down the mountain. Yifeng, the other party is a gluttonous advance elite, a space-class mecha beast warrior. Are you sure you want to go? Du Cao hesitated. Although he felt something was wrong. However, a navigation map was still called up on the holographic screen. Go, why don't you go? This is the first time gluttonous gluttons have attacked the Earth. As an Earthling, I always have to teach them a lesson. Nightwind shrugged. Based on his previous valuable experience in the Hokage ninja world. Just check in at those places that are relevant to the main story. You will definitely get a lot of good stuff. So, he has to play this card. But, gluttonous is really strong, and I don't have any armor that suits you right now. Du Cao hesitated. Although Du Cao and Yifeng's friendship is not deep. But, he didn't want to watch Yifeng die. After all, he is no longer the war madman he used to be. After coming to Earth, he has a lot of human touches. At this time, Sun Wukong gave Du Cao a strange look. Okay, old Du, still armored. Aren't you kidding me? Do you think my old grandson will call a weak chicken Feng Yi all day long? Although this version of Monkey King is not the Monkey King, but also the god of war on Earth. I want to make a god of war like Sun Wukong bow his head. That's not an easy task. But, Du Cao hesitated. I don't know how credible Sun Wukong's words are. Let me tell you the truth, Lao Du, I don't comment on other aspects of Lord Feng, but he is definitely better at fighting than my old grandson. Go and dance, gluttonous. These 300 years. Yifeng and Sun Wukong will have a sparring every once in a while. One is to decompress. The second is to hone each other's fighting skills. 300 years. This man and one monkey have been beaten thousands of times. Sun Wukong has never won. He was unconvinced at first. But then he was completely convinced by Yifeng. As the night wind said. Do you want a monkey to dance too? So. Sun Wukong has the habit of calling Feng Yi. Wukong, is what you said true? Du Cao frowned suddenly. At the same time, he gave Yifeng a meaningful look. When Sun Wukong faced Liang Panzhen, he was never like this. And now he actually admits that Yifeng is stronger than him. How is this possible? Is this monkey going to trick people again? Lao Du, it's not my old grandson who told you. When have you ever seen my old grandson lie? Sun Wukong said disdainfully. Speak straight. This is the way of my grandson. However, it's still a little far from the airport road. Even if Yifeng takes my Don number 1, I'm afraid it will be a little late to get there. Du Cao shook his head. The reason why he asked Sun Wukong to support him was because he knew that Sun Wukong could fly. And it flies faster than an airplane. But the night wind should not be able to do it. Don 1. Yifeng shook his head. He had indeed not flown in a long time. After all, Huaguo Mountain is not big. He used to worry that if he accidentally flew out of the sign-in area of Huaguo Mountain, something weird might happen. But now it's different. I saw Yifeng's voice fell. The incomparably pure chakra in his dantian instantly poured out from behind. Condensed a pair of gray-white wind wings. And then, the night wind spreads high. It disappeared from the spot in an instant. He actually flew. But how is that possible? Du Cao looked at the direction Yifeng was leaving with a bewildered expression, expressing that he could not accept this reality at all. Chapter 268 _ Nightwind's sign in reward. Tisk tisk tisk, My old grandson has fought with Lord Feng so many times, but I never knew he could fly. Sun Wukong sighed with emotion. He thought he had absolute power in flying, but did not expect. Even the night wind can fly. And it's not too slow. I had known that the two of them could fly together. Wukong, he has been with you all these years, hasn't he done anything strange? Du Gao looked at Sun Wukong and frowned tightly. For some civilizations, flying is not a big deal. But human genes should not have the ability to fly. And what happened to the pair of wings just now? That is not the kind of biological wings of angels, nor the kind of mechanical wings of gluttonous gluttons. Rather, it looks like some kind of energy transformed into wings. Energized wings. Energized horse. Are the legends handed down from the ancient universe actually true? Strange things. There are probably only two strangest things that Lord Feng has done. Sun Wukong shook his head, lying on the sofa and said, the first is that he and my old grandson are living in seclusion in this steep mountain and old forest for no reason. And the second thing is that he is finally willing to leave the mountain inexplicably. Quote. For hundreds of years. Sun Wukong will also change into a human appearance from time to go down the mountain for entertainment. Add some household supplies. But Yi Feng himself is a human being. He never went down the mountain with Sun Wukong. This made Sun Wukong never understand. And today, Yi Feng, who had never been down the mountain, actually went down the mountain. And he was just for a few gluttonous soldiers. This made Sun Wukong a little confused. Good thing he's a monkey. There is no need to think about these complicated things. Hey, the situation on the earth is really getting more and more complicated. I hope the night wind will not be bad for the earth. Du Cao sighed. He values the earth very much. Earthlings have a very high genetic expansion. It is very suitable for training Dino super soldiers. Du Cao also took Lianfeng and the others to wander around the universe near Eternal before finding the earth. So, he really doesn't want something to happen to the earth. Don't worry, Lord Feng is a down-to-earth person from the earth. Even if you and I will be detrimental to the earth, Lord Feng will not. Sun Wukong opened another can of beer. He drank to himself. Are you an alien worried that the earthlings will be bad for the earth? Are you thinking too much? ... After about 15 minutes, Yi Feng finally arrived at the scene on Airport Road. At this moment, the airport road was surrounded by heavy troops. Although Washa's armed forces were unable to defeat the gluttonous soldiers in a short period of time. However, under the command of Du Cao, they successfully trapped the gluttonous advance team in an encirclement. Because of Du Cao's orders, Yi Feng also smoothly cut into the battlefield of Airport Road. Ding! It is detected that the host has arrived at the check-in location, and now the system starts to check in. Taking advantage of the system's countdown, Yi Feng looked at the battle situation on the airport road. On the ground, there are gluttonous tanks and gunships everywhere. The conventional army was obviously suppressed by the gluttonous with more advanced energy weapons. Far away, Du Cao's daughter, Du Qiangwei, is swinging and fighting in the air with several gluttonous warriors using flying knives and daggers. Although Du Qiangwei is still very weak. But from time to time, she relies on wormhole teleportation to play. It is also possible to have a relationship with Teodi. I don't know if Qi Rin has been shot. Yi Feng shook his head and said, fortunately, this girl's genetic characteristics have a relatively strong recovery ability, but there is no life problem. The seminary has registered. Qi Rin is a very typical Oriental beauty in the super seminary. She is different from Rose. Rose's style is heroic. Liquor Yuhi-colored long hair shawl. A certain part that is always highlighted by the director has a delicate ups and downs. The small waist is shiny and slender. The appearance is very charming. With a naturally charming face. All kinds of styles. Anyway, everyone knows. Qi Rin is also slender, with a slender waist and graceful curves. But she gave the impression of a delicate beauty. I like both styles. But because the super gene in Chi-Rin's body is just the Kamigawa gene of a generation of technology. So she doesn't have much of a later role. Basically reduced to a background board without a sense of existence. This made Yifeng sigh deeply. Just when Yifeng was observing the battlefield, the system finally successfully completed the 10-second sign-in task. Ding! Congratulations to the host for signing in successfully, and get Reward 1. Unlimited System Space version. Reward 2. Tushin Yaya's Ice Demon Grandmaster. Reward 3. Unlimited supply of all the delicious food of the Chinese Small Master. Huh. It turned out to be a triple reward. Yifeng was slightly taken aback. Although the sign-in reward this time does not seem to be particularly eye-catching. But Tushin Yaya's Ice Demon Chi has a very high growth potential. If Yifeng can raise Frost Demon Chi to ultimate, so he can convert the check carrot into the Ice Demon energy with absolute 0 degrees. Absolute 0 is a temperature and a state. At absolute 0, the atoms are completely silent, and the electrons are no longer moving. This in itself is an absolutely unattainable minimum temperature. In theory, if Yifeng can create enough Ice Demon energy at absolute 0, so the night wind can completely freeze the stars. Quite powerful. However, just when Yifeng was counting the rewards, a gluttonous warrior stepped on a skateboard, holding an alloy sword, and charged towards Yifeng. Go to hell, ugly earthlings. At this time, Du Cao's voice also reached Yifeng's ears through the communicator. Yifeng, don't panic. You listen to my instructions carefully. I'll teach you how to fight gluttons. Quote ? Yifeng was quite speechless. Isn't it just about hitting a mosquito? Is this what you teach? What about messing with me? But Yifeng just received the system's sign-in reward. He is in a good mood now. So don't be ready to bully people. Then Yifeng raised his finger, gently pointed towards the gluttonous glutton who had a small aesthetic problem. A golden light rose into the sky. A golden wheel exploded and sent the gluttonous glutton directly to his god Karl to smell the fart. This. Lianfeng. Quickly analyze the energy change of Yifeng's move just now. I want to know what his abilities are. Du Cao saw Yifeng's move through the holographic screen. To be frank, he was shocked. Don't look at Yifeng, who just killed a gluttonous weak chicken with Jinlin Zhuansheng. But anti-aircraft guns are also anti-aircraft guns to fight mosquitoes. Lao Du, it has been detected. There is no abnormal dark energy fluctuation at the scene, nor abnormal stellar energy fluctuation. Yifeng may be using an energy that we have never heard of. Chapter 269 Core Technology of Super Seminary. Lianfeng is the chief technical engineer under Du Cao. After she analyzed the energy changes of the airport road, brows furrowed. To know. The most powerful energy in the universe is dark energy and stellar energy. And Yifeng's move just now was super powerful. How is it possible that no dark energy and stellar energy were used? Isn't this scientific? Don't waste your energy. Lord Feng's ability is very special. There is a terrible power in his body, which is completely irrelevant to your technology. Sun Wukong glanced at Du Cao casually. Do you really think that everything can be explained clearly with technology? Innocent. Too naive. Haven't you heard that the end of science is metaphysics? Oh, the energy in the body. Is it biological energy? But when can biological energy be converted into energy and emitted? Du Cao touched his chin. There was a thoughtful look on his face. The universe is vast. Also very old. The universe has existed for 13.7 billion years. But the strongest Kamigawa civilization in the universe was only 20 eternal in history. Today's angel civilization is only 10 eternal in history. Although the angels claim to be the strongest in the known universe. But There are still many places in this universe that angels have never set foot on. So, strictly speaking, no matter what happens, it shouldn't be a surprise. Don't be so surprised. You all say that my grandson is a Shinhee beast, but isn't there something in my genes that you can't understand clearly? Sun Wukong shook his head. He is an animal body but not a normal animal body. Sun Wukong is a Kamigawa animal body created by an unknown master of Kamigawa. Hidden within his genes is a strange genetic code. Even Lianfeng couldn't understand it. So, the reason why strange things appear strange is because the knowledge level of the people who have experienced these things cannot reach the level of knowledge. At this time, Yifeng is making a big kill on the airport road. Don't look at the gluttonous people with extremely sturdy exoskeleton armor. But under Yifeng, they couldn't even last a round. Especially the black knife in Yifeng's hand. It can easily split the gluttonous alloy armor that can block cannonballs. It didn't take long. The gluttonous food on Airport Road was all wiped out by the night wind. All the participating troops were speechless. Is this the god of war recommended by General Du? It's really powerful. He's Superman. I think he's flying over aliens. I think this god of war is a man from Earth. He must have been in extraterrestrial activities before, and now he is home. God of war returns home. Cow batch cattle batch. Okay, don't make random guesses. Today's matter is highly confidential, everyone should be cautious. Chiangwei put away the weapon, mobilized the dark energy to open a wormhole, dodged in front of Yifeng, and looked up and down at Yifeng curiously. You were sent by Lao Du. Rose has never heard of the existence of the night wind. In fact, except for the things about the company of soldiers. Dukao almost never told Rose the truth about the universe. So, she was curious about such a night wind. I wasn't sent by Lao Du, I just came here to sign and get a card. Night Wind shrugged. Then, he began to look closely at the roses. Blood Rose. Mysterious and beautiful. Although she is a little tsundere in character. But overall, the role of Rose is quite successful. After all, both Big Depressed Legs and Bigu let you read the whole article. What more do you ask for? Is the story too thin? It's not enough to be thin. Change the settings back and forth. It's okay if you don't change your body shape. Too short. The legs are not short enough. This anime is definitely the core technology that has mastered the needs of male friends. I've never seen you in Super Seminary. You shouldn't be a soldier, right? What's your occupation? Chiangwei was a little flustered by Yifeng's stare, so she asked in a panic. What profession am I? Probably a professional shooter, right? Yifeng touched his chin. Professional Lu Ban to know. Shooter. Chiangwei didn't know why her face turned Yuhi. See this scene. Yifeng couldn't help but want to spit out a few words in his heart. You really have a car in your heart. No matter what the road is broken, you can make up for one by yourself. Okay, Lao Du is still waiting at home, I'll take you back with me. Night Wind shrugged. Then she grabbed Chiangwei's little hand. Hiraishin took her back to the villa in Waguoshan. After showing up, Dukao and Chiangwei were completely stunned. Even Sun Wukong is a bit of a whale eater. Lord Feng's speed refreshed his grandson's cognition again. Could it be that Feng Yi who has a girl is so fierce? No wonder Lord Feng always said that he learned this trick from someone named Yongdame. Do you have to bring a sister to be bully? Old Du, why are you here? This moment. Rose was also a little confused. The gene in her body is called Space-Time Rose. It was developed by Morgana, the Queen of Demons, and Karl, the God of Death. Is still very ineffective at mastering the time and space genes. But normal perception of wormholes is definitely no problem. But she just didn't feel that the surrounding wormholes had been aggregated. Then she was taken to this mysterious place by Yifeng. If not, her father was here too. In front of this person is a monkey. Chiangwei thought they were going to do something utterly conscientious. Chiangwei, I will explain my affairs to you later. Du Kao looked at Yefeng with a dazzling gaze and asked, Yefeng, are you also a Grand Master of time and space? But how did you calculate Rose's body data? What? Want to teleport any object or organism through a wormhole? The target must be solved first. But the solution process for living organisms is quite complicated. Without the support of large computers, it is almost impossible to transmit people. So, how did the Night Wind do it? Could it be that there is a powerful unknown computing celestial body behind him? What is his background? What do you want to do? To this, Yifeng shook his head indifferently and said, Solution. I'm sorry, that's something you only play on the technology side. What I'm playing is called metaphysics. Do you have to open a wormhole to cross space? Does a fire have to be combustible? Can water be created out of nothing in a desert? Deciphering metaphysics. Take you into the unknown world. I said Laudu, don't make a fuss here, it's just a trifle, you will know how powerful Master Feng is in the future. After all, Sun Wukong is a monkey who has seen many big worlds. So, he quickly calmed down. But the Du Kao is different. He picked up the beer for the first time, blew a bottle directly, and said, Metaphysics. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. The end of metaphysics is science. Chapter 270_I came from the void. Du Kao shook his head. He suddenly felt as if there were many inexplicable question marks in front of him. Because so many unexpected things happened today. Especially the battle between metaphysics and science. After all, even if the external performance like Liang is very similar to the civilization of cultivation. In fact, it is still a technological civilization. So, metaphysics. It doesn't exist at all. I, Du Kao, dare to guarantee. Old Du, Yifeng didn't really open a wormhole just now. He might be playing with metaphysics. Rose swallowed her saliva. Anyway, Yifeng's behavior has gone beyond Chiangwei's cognition. Except to explain with metaphysics. Rose felt that there was really no other way to explain it. Without opening a wormhole, how could it be possible to cross space without opening a wormhole? Du Kao shook his head in disbelief. But, if not even Rose in time and space can't understand how Yifeng came back here through time and space, then he is even less likely to analyze any useful information. Think about it. Du Kao decided to put this matter aside for now. Think of it as fake news for now. Thus, sure enough, I instantly felt more comfortable. Yefeng, since you have such a powerful force and you are an earthling, why don't you come out with me? Help Washa lead the company of soldiers and deal with the future gluttonous invasion. Du Kao's goal in coming to Wagwo Mountain this time is to find a master to go back. If not, he could only promise Liang Star. Let their main god Rina be the captain of the hero company. That is the result that Washa does not want to see. Lao Du, you want me to be a thug for you? Are you sure? Yifeng frowned. He looked unhappy. If Yifeng went to the Shangbing company and became the captain. What about cute Reina? Drive Reina back to the sun. That won't work. What's the point of a future without the company of a cute middle-aged girl like Reina? Du Kao's expression froze for a moment, then rolled his eyes, and immediately changed his words. It's not the captain, it's the instructor. On behalf of the Super Seminary, I invite you to be the instructor of the Shangbing company. Play an interstellar joke. Du Kao has fried the old fritters on Eternal. He could see at a glance that Yifeng was not at all interested in the position of captain of the Shangbing company. So he added immediately. Hope to impress the Night Wind. Instructor. Yifeng touched his chin, looked at Chiangwei, and nodded meaningfully. This is a good profession. Rose met Yifeng's gaze. Cheeks or Yuhi again. Yifeng didn't know what impure things were going on in Chiangwei's little head. But Yifeng promised to be the instructor of the Shangbing company. Definitely not because of those messy thoughts. He just thinks. If you don't go out and make waves. Where did the sign in task trigger? Old Du, it's really cheap for you. I originally planned to let Lord Feng take me to the king, but now you have made me an instructor. It seems that my old grandson is destined to be a stubborn bronze in his life. Sun Wukong smiled. Although he said so. But my heart is still happy for Yi Feng. Yi Feng is a passionate person. Sun Wukong also didn't want to see Yi Feng spend his time in this deep mountain forest with him. Haha, then why don't you go out with us? Yi Feng is an instructor, you can be a captain, and you can still play gluttony together in the future, how about that? Du Kao laughed. If you can fool Sun Wukong out, then you can make a lot of money this time. Forget it, my old grandson can be lazy to play with those kids. I have to stay here to protect this mountain. Sun Wukong shook his head. This mountain is the place where his master sits. Not as a last resort. He will not leave. ... After Yi Feng said goodbye to Sun Wukong, the three of them left Wagwo Mountain on dawn number 1 together. On the way, Du Qiangwei still doesn't quite believe what just happened. So, that monkey just now was really Sun Wukong, the one from the fairy tale? Qiangwei asked curiously. If it's fake, Yi Feng nodded and explained. Myths and stories are all made up by later generations, but he is the original. Although there is no Monkey King in reality. There was no rioting in the Heavenly Palace either. But Sun Wukong, in order to inherit his master's mercy. The story of holding a dark alloy rod and hitting the Liangling Xiao is real. In the eyes of mortals. He is the god of war, Sun Wukong. Then, how about you? What's the matter with you? Qiangwei looked at Yi Feng curiously, but she couldn't see through the handsome man in front of her. Yeah, Yefeng, can you tell your story too? Du Kao was also curious about Yefeng. 300 years ago, Yi Feng is said to have hit it off with Sun Wukong. Then he settled in Wagwoshan. Since then, he has lived a happy life. After that, Yi Feng has never left Wagwo Mountain. Although Du Kao has performed scanning analysis on the night wind. But he did not find any problems at the genetic level of Yi Feng. He is an earthling. The unremarkable kind. My story. Yi Feng shook his head and said casually, have you all heard of Carl's ultimate fear theory? Well, I know. Du Kao nodded. Ultimate fear is the concept first proposed by the god of death Carl. He came to a terrifying conclusion by studying the Pengu civilization, which was destroyed hundreds of millions of years ago. That is, when any civilization has developed to a certain bottleneck, and is ready to break through that bottleneck. A mysterious unknown force will destroy this civilization in an instant. Carl named this power ultimate fear. Creatures with ultimate fear power are defined by Carl as void creatures. I used to live in the same world with a void creature that could destroy the universe in a single thought. Isn't this story vivid? Yi Feng said with a smile. After all, Yi Feng is an honest man. So, he directly told the truth in front of Du Kao and Qiangwei. Your joke is too exaggerated. Du Kao shook his head speechlessly. If you don't want to say it, you don't want to say it. Why use such superficial lies to fool everyone? When everyone is stupid. Du Kao suddenly felt that his IQ was offended. Yeah, the universe is destroyed in a single thought. I'm afraid this is fooling the child. Do you think I look like a child? Rose suddenly raised her head, using her maturity to prove that she is no longer a child. Then, well, to this. Yi Feng also had no choice but to shake his head speechlessly. You don't believe it if you tell the truth. So I can only fool you. Chapter 271 _ Do you think I'm a plane? It has been almost 4.5 billion years since the birth of the Earth. And today's Earth civilization is only a few thousand years old. Do you think this is reasonable? Yi Feng looked at Du Kao and his daughter seriously and asked. Isn't it reasonable? Du Kao and his daughter shook their heads in confusion, and said, "Does this have anything to do with you?" "Of course it has something to do with it." Yifeng slapped his thigh violently, startling the two people on the opposite side. "I actually have amnesia, but I suspect that I am an ancient Earth person, and the civilization one I'm in may have been destroyed somehow. The reason why I can live to this day may be that I sealed myself back then and only woke up 300 years ago. But don't ask about the ancient Earth civilization. I just remembered that I was a metaphysician. Love girls. Forget the rest." Yi Fengxin's eloquence seems to be improved by the system for him. Such nonsense. After Du Cao and Qiangwei heard it, they nodded and praised each other. "You say it's irritating. That's right. That sounds more reasonable." Qiangwei smiled. It turned out to be the ancient Earth people. No wonder, no wonder. Du Cao also showed a meaningful look. Civilization changes are normal. Billions of years. Fight any war above nuclear. As long as the planet does not die, civilization on the planet will restart. As for mysticism, feel sorry. My Du Cao has only recognized the word science all my life. Yifeng could only shake his head helplessly when he saw Du Cao's father and daughter react like this. Check it out. No one believes me every time I tell the truth. Isn't this forcing me to fool you? I, Yifeng, used to be an honest and kind boy. By the way, Lord Feng, how did you bring me back to Brother Monkey's house from the airport road? Qiangwei asked again. Well, this is called a technique, and the name of the technique is Horizon, but I can't explain it to you from a scientific point of view. After all, I am from the fantasy side. Nightwind shrugged. Don't ask anyway. Asking is fantasy. I see. Qiangwei's face showed a thoughtful look, and then she said, since you know Horizon, why do we still make helicopters? You can just fly us back to Super Seminary. Rose is very interested in Horizon of Yifeng. So, she would love to experience it again. But, Yifeng gave Qiangwei a speechless look. Do you think I'm a plane? You can fight if you want. Just take a helicopter and go back. Joke. Horizon in the Super Seminary. Just talk about this long-distance transmission. Does it require no energy consumption? Your little girl looks young. Long is also very exciting. But why do you want to hollow me out as soon as we meet? The world is so scary. ... Suburbs of Juxia City. In the middle of another rolling mountain range. There is a super seminary. After the helicopter landed, Lianfeng and Yukon had already brought people out to greet them in advance. After all, Yifeng's position is the instructor of the Shangbing Company. Of course, the super seminary has to show their respect for Yifeng. Her name is Lianfeng, and she is my right-hand man. If you have technical questions in the future, you can communicate with her more, which should solve your confusion in metaphysics. Du Caoro gave Yifeng a meaningful look. He felt that it was necessary for him to straighten Yifeng. We must let Yifeng embark on the bright road of advocating science. Otherwise, Du Cao always felt a little uncomfortable in his heart. This is probably obsessive-compulsive disorder. Well, no problem. Yifeng agreed immediately. Although he didn't know the twists and turns in Du Cao's heart. But it is true that more in-depth communication is required between the scientific side and the fantasy side. And only so, we can all make progress together. Especially with a beauty like Lianfeng. Hello Yifeng, welcome to join the Super Seminary, it's a pleasure to meet you. Lianfeng took a step forward, smiled and stretched out his right hand, wanting to shake hands with Yifeng. Hello, it's nice to meet you too. Yifeng also smiled. Hold Lianfeng's little hand. Then, he began to look at Lianfeng up close. Wearing a loose scientific research uniform in Yuhi color. A pair of large and slender legs. Looming. Very long and spirited. See here. Yifeng couldn't help but start to sigh in his heart. This world. It's true that half of the world is supported by girls. Very wonderful. ... Subsequently, a group of people walked into the super seminary. Yifeng finally saw the appearance of the super seminary in the real world. Although there are not many people in the super seminary, it covers an extremely large area. Say it's a college. In fact, it should be said that it is a high-end research institute. Du Cao briefly introduced Yifeng about the basic situation of the super seminary. He ordered Chiangwei to take Yifeng to the dormitory to rest. It's a little late after all. Master Feng, this house will be your dormitory in the future. Are you satisfied? Chiangwei helped Yifeng open the door. This is a suite of about 200 square meters. Very luxuriously decorated. But the decor is a bit feminine. Well, it's okay. Although it's not as good as the monkey's villa, it's not bad. Yifeng looked around. In fact, he does not have any special requirements for housing. It's just a place to sleep anyway. Big or small doesn't matter. Even if Du Cao asked him to huddle with Rose, Yifeng thinks he can accept it. Huh, why is there such a thing here? Do I still have roommates? Yifeng looked at some special clothes hanging on the balcony. Feel surprised. Is the dormitory of Super Seminary really mixed? So open. At this time, Chiangwei's face was slightly yuhi. Quickly created a wormhole to put away the things on the balcony. Sorry, these things are mine. I used to live here. Chiangwei yuhi said with a face. After listening to Rose's explanation, Yifeng looked at Rose with a different look. I was thinking. You old dude can do it. You really want your daughter to live with me? Is this the idea of hitting my body? So despicable. Master Feng, don't get me wrong, I'm also a soldier of the Shangbing Company, so I have moved to the dormitory of the Shangbing Company. I haven't cleaned up this room. When I clean it up, you will be alone in the future. People live. Chiangwei quickly explained again. Oh, that's it. Yifeng nodded suddenly and said, then why don't I go out first? When you're done cleaning up, I'll come in again. Yifeng showed his high emotional intelligence. After all, in case there is something hidden in the little girl's room that is inconvenient for others to see, that once he saw it, wouldn't the atmosphere be very awkward? Chapter 272_3 Sluts in the Grass. Then wait for me for a while. I don't have much stuff. I should be ready in 5 minutes. Rose smiled. She quickly cleaned up the things that belonged to her. Master Feng, come in. Yifeng re-entered the room and looked at the clean house with a satisfied look. Then what's the next plan? What are you going to do? Go straight to bed? Yifeng asked seriously. After all, he was already an instructor of the Shangbing Company. Always know what to do next. Otherwise, he might be going to bed and rest. At this time, Yuhi again in an untraceable manner. I'm going to report to my father later. In fact, Du Chiangwei's character was originally a very strong one. But she didn't know why she felt a little flustered in front of Yifeng. Is this the handsome guy effect? Then you're busy, I mean what should I do next? Could it be possible to lie in the dormitory and play games? Yifeng asked. Oh, that's what you mean. Du Chiangwei showed a sudden realization. At the same time, he breathed a sigh of relief. This made an honest person like Yifeng a little confused. I didn't mean that, what else could I mean? Tonight, you can simply learn about the information of the members of the Shangbing Company. At 7:30 tomorrow morning, everyone will officially gather together in Building A, 301. Chiangwei said. Okay, then go get busy. Yifeng yawned. Send the roses away. Then, Yifeng briefly glanced at the team manual that Chiangwei left him on the table. The data is pretty much what I remembered. Yifeng shook his head. They threw Zhe Xiaolun's information manual into the corner. And he sat cross-legged on the coffee table. Start checking out today's check-in rewards. The system space, as the name suggests, is a different dimensional space. This space is infinite. But only inanimate things can be preserved. After having this space. In the future, even if Yifeng signs a large spaceship, there is no need to be afraid of running out of parking spaces. China Little Master is a gourmet show that makes people drool when they look at it. There are all kinds of weird food in there. Yifeng took out a bowl of soul noodles from the system space. Sparse. The whole bowl of noodles seems bland though. But there was only one noodle in the bowl, and it kept going. After eating, Yifeng suddenly felt that the heart that had just been restless was much more settled. Finally, Yifeng studied Tu Shanyaya's ice demon energy. Tu Shanyaya is the leader of the demon alliance in the fox demon Little Yuhi. There is absolutely nothing to say about the appearance and figure. And Tushanyaya is the kind of character who seems to be arrogant and indifferent on the outside, but is actually a bit suinder. So it's very popular. The icy demonic energy is Tu Shanyaya's stunt. After Yifeng started this skill, the system has made some corrections to the principle of ice demon energy. As long as Yifeng consumes chakra, he can create the ice demon energy of the Grandmaster level. Well, as expected of Tu Shanyaya's big move, the temperature is much lower than my Hyoten, ice style, and I don't know when I will be able to upgrade to the ultimate rank. The night wind waved casually. An incomparably icy demonic energy suddenly appeared in his palm. In the world of Super Seminary. Except for the power of ultimate fear. There are two other crises. One is a stellar explosion, and the other is a black hole. Against black holes, Yifeng didn't have a good solution yet. But if he can cultivate the ice demon energy to absolute zero in the future, on his chakra scale, maybe it's still possible to hit the stars. After counting the task rewards, Yifeng soon fell asleep. In dreamland, Yifeng dreamed of many people. He dreamed that he was back in the world of Hokage ninjas, injecting his girls with the latest genetic potion so that they too would always be by his side. And Yifeng also dreamed that the girls' team had expanded again. All worlds. All kinds of girls are his. You say it's irritating. But when dreaming here, Yifeng suddenly woke up from the dream with a jolt. 10,000 worlds open a harem. Isn't the idea too scary? Yifeng looked at his watch. It's almost 7 o'clock. After a simple scrub, Nightwind opened the door. Today's breakfast is already placed at the door. Although it is not very rich, it is better than nutritionally balanced. This service is much better than monkeys, and it really is a better user experience for humans. Then, Yifeng simply ate breakfast and came to Building A of the teaching building. 301. It should be right in front, Yifeng said. But Yifeng has not reached the door yet. I heard the sound of discussion in the classroom. Hey, let me go, have you seen that Du Qiangwei? That figure, that peach, the thief pulls the stick. Hey, it's like tears. When they looked for me, they said that I could live in a dormitory with Qiangwei and I came here. As a result, hey, it turned out to be you. Okay, Xiaolun, you think about it and know that it's impossible. What's the age? How could there be a mixed dormitory? Three voices full of Diosi were discussing Du Qiangwei recklessly in the classroom, and their words gradually got out of control. Then, Yifeng walked into the classroom. At a glance, I saw the legendary three scumbags in the grass. They were very different from the image Yifeng remembered. Long or obscene. An old hidden look. Why are you three here? What about the others? A huge classroom. Only 3 students came. What about the others? Haven't joined Super Seminary yet. Or have no sense of time at all. Yifeng suddenly felt that this team might not be easy to lead. Others? Anyone else? Aren't the 3 of us enough to save the planet? Xinjiao said with a suinder face. Master Xin, keep a low profile, why do you always tell the truth? Jie Xiaolun smirked and cooperated with Xin Zhao to pretend. Low-key. I, Xin Zhao, also want to be low-key, but he doesn't allow it because of his strength, isn't it, Yaoan? You should say a few words too. Xin Zhao laughed. Ah, you're all right, hee. Cheng Yaoan smiled naively, completely losing the temperament of Prince Nuoxing. By the way, this has been talked about for a long time. Who are you? Why didn't we see you in the dormitory yesterday? Did you just come here this morning? Jie Xiaolun suddenly looked at Yi Feng and asked. Only the 3 of them were reported in the dormitory yesterday. Said there would be a few more today. Could it be that he is? At this time, Yi Feng pulled out a chair. Sitting down with Erlang's legs crossed. Smile lightly. My name is Yi Feng, and I'm the instructor of the Shangbing Company. Chapter 273 A large group of shower has arrived on the battlefield. What? Are you an instructor? Such a young instructor. Jie Xiaolun scratched his head. Aren't all the instructors in TV shows like that? Rude. Violent. Full of anger. At first glance, it is the kind of Beijing battlefield. But why are their instructors so handsome? Still young. What can he teach us? Live streaming. Instructor, we all have superpowers, do you have them too? What is your most outstanding power? Xin Zhao asked suspiciously. Outstanding ability. Yi Feng thought about it seriously and said, I have many abilities, but the most outstanding one should be handsome. Yi Feng's voice fell. A ray of exhaustion reflected from Kiba's teeth. The 3 of Xin Zhao were immediately dumbfounded. Is there such a shameless person in the world? More than Jie Xiaolun. This can't be done. Okay, introduce yourself, Yi Feng said casually. My name is Zhao Xin. My ancestor is Chengshin Zhao Zilong. Zhao Xin looked at Yi Feng proudly and said, my superpower is fast, and they all call me Lightning Letter. Xin Zhao's genetic model is called the Spear of the Star. The characteristic is to win quickly. Is it an advantage to be fast? Are you serious? Yi Feng looked at Xin Zhao with a strange expression. He has never heard of any man proudly saying that he is fast. This, Feng Yi, I'm talking fast. It's not that fast. I mean I fight fast. Xin Zhao was speechless. Can you drive on any road? You were wrong. Oh, fight fast. That's normal. Yi Feng waved his hand indifferently and looked at Jie Xiaolun. What about you? What is your ability? My name is Jie Xiaolun, and I'm a college student. My characteristic is tough. I don't know the specifics. Anyway, that's what they told me. Jie Xiaolun wiped the rut that did not exist on his face. Smirked. Well, this ability is not bad, but you have to make it clear whether they said it or them said it. This is very important. Yi Feng nodded. Well, it's a modern society. 1 by 1. Awesome car. Ah, this. Of course it's them, so there's no need to ask. Jie Xiaolun's mouth grinned, and his smirk turned into a double ha. This instructor is so right. What about you? Although Yi Feng knew Cheng Yaoan's ability. But he still asked. Let's see if Cheng Yaoan, Prince Dexing's old broken car, can also soar. My ability is to control rock and soil. For example, I can summon a big clay hand from the ground, grab the opponent's limbs, and press it on the ground. Cheng Yaoan smiled naively. Obviously. His driving skills are still a little rusty. Not as natural as others. Well, that's a good skill. You're all excellent. Yi Feng ordered a savings for them. Although we used to be an old driver. But he lived with a monkey for 300 years. Yi Feng almost forgot how to drive. That's it. A man who has been in a harem with 3 single dogs. Discuss life in the classroom. After a while. Beautiful girl in a blue t-shirt appeared at the door of the classroom. She knocked on the door and asked with a delicate smile, Hello. Is this Durban? The girl is very beautiful. Also very filling. After Xin Zhao saw it, saliva flowed directly from the heart. But Jie Xiaolun was a little embarrassed. Because the girl's name is Rin, and Jay Xiaolun was arrested a few days ago. Yes, this is Durban, I am your instructor, and you can also understand that I am your head teacher. Yifeng touched his chin. The great rivers and mountains of Rin. Are you an instructor? Do you have documents? How do you prove that you are an instructor? Rin occupational disease suddenly committed. He asked Yifeng 3 questions progressively. Ah, right. You said you were an instructor and you were an instructor. Didn't you show us the documents? Xinjiao also had a suspicious look on his face. It's been a long time. Not even a certificate. The ghost knows if it's a big cheat. Certificate. Yifeng frowned. Dukao did not give him any documents. Isn't it, Master Feng? Are you fooling us? Jay Xiaolun raised his brows. How could this guy play like this? Could it be that the instructor's game is very interesting? Can't you? Laodu didn't give me the certificate, but I am indeed your instructor. Yifeng touched his nose, looked at Rin sincerely, and said, do you look like I can tell a lie? Master Feng. Rin frowned and didn't answer Yifeng's words. What kind of strange name is this? You're not supposed to be in the dark, right? Hey, you're right, Lord Xin. I used to carry a spoon in Causeway Bay. Xinjiao proudly took out a low-quality lighter and started wiping it. Humph. Scumbag, I actually want to be with you. It's okay to join me in this hero. Rin snorted coldly. For professional reasons. Rin doesn't have any affection for the people in the Haishui. But this time. A rough and arrogant voice came from outside the door. What's wrong? What's wrong with Haisi? I Lu Chuang is the elder brother. Hey, there are dozens of brothers outside, do you want to treat me? I, Lu Chuang, are not afraid of you. This time it was Lu Chuang who walked in. Damn it, you rogue is even here. Isn't the Shangbing Company the kind that saves all mankind? What are you doing here? Jay Xiaolun was furious when he saw Lu Chuang. Jay Xiaolun's character was originally quite easygoing. But it was because Lu Chuang bullied the girl that Jay Xiaolun acted bravely and was captured by Rin. The so-called enemy meet. Extraordinary I Yuhi. Jay Xiaolun suddenly became anxious. Rogue, I'm sorry, please add the word, head, after these 2 words, otherwise I feel as if I have been offended. After all, Lu Chuang is a big brother. Lu Chuang's genetic model is called the God of War. The characteristic is that it is very reliable to cut God. Has the power to kill gods. In the future, Lu Chuang will become one of the main forces in the Shangbing Company. It has the title of the Great Wall No. 1. But the current Lu Chuang is still the careless boss. But really speaking, although Lu Chuang is a big bastard, but he has never done anything terribly wrong in his life. After all, Dukao has been keeping someone to monitor him. In the alley that day. If Jay Xiaolun hadn't intervened, there would have been people in black to stop Lu Chuang. What the hell is this super seminary? How can people like you come in? Rin was really angry now. Although Lu Chuang did not commit any major incidents, but a lot of small mistakes. Rin has caught him more than once. And now, the prisoner she had caught before was going to be her teammate. What about trouble? Chapter 274 Jay Xiaolun has beaten the goddess. What's wrong with someone like me? You look down on being a black big brother. Lu Chuang sneered disdainfully. He pulled out a chair and sat down. But I don't think this heroic company is very good. There are girls. It can be said that it is not tiring to work with men and women, but it is useless to have such a small white face. Do you want to be a handsome man? That's right. Lu Chuang has already begun to test frantically on the verge of death. Then, Yifeng waved his hand. A majestic gravitational force instantly enveloped Lu Chuang. Lu Chuang rushed towards Yifeng like a cannonball. Then, he was stepped on the ground by Yifeng. Emma, who are you? What kind of plane are you doing? Are you using your strength to hang up? Lu Chuang's back was stepped on by Yifeng's foot. He desperately tried to break free. But it didn't move. Even if the super gene in his body has been activated, it still can't shake Yifeng's heel. Isn't Lu Chuang, my name is Yifeng, and I'm your instructor. Remember it to me in the future, don't float away when I'm here, otherwise the consequences will be serious, understand? Yifengyan said something lightly. At the same time, he used demonic illusion to teach Lu Chuang a lesson. Demonic illusion ends. Lu Chuang was dripping with sweat. After seeing the yellow liquid flowing out of the ground, he suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. My chicken is still there. Don't panic. Big brother, I was wrong. I'll never dare again. I'll call and ask my men to go to Kongliang. I tell them to go back to study hard, enough to catch the 4 big ones, and catch Apu. Lu Chuang begged for mercy. Well, the attitude is alright, but the English accent is too heavy. Go back to where you should go first. Yifeng's voice fell. Left foot lightly pick. Lu Chuang was kicked out by Yifeng and crashed into Zhe Xiaolun's arms. The scene was suddenly awkward. Lord Feng, can you be more accurate next time? Brother's first mouth was almost taken away by this bastard. Zhe Xiaolun pushed Lu Chuang out with a look of disgust. His first smell is to be left to the girl. How can you mess around? After Yifeng had educated Lu Chuang. Look at the watch. It's almost 7:30, and there are still people who haven't come yet. Do you still have any sense of time? Yifeng frowned. This team doesn't seem to be very easy to lead, and they have to take some powerful medicine. Yeah, why isn't my favorite Rose yet? I heard that I didn't go back to the dormitory last night. Zhe Xiaolun also revealed an anxious look on his face. The goddess didn't go back to the dormitory. Bad news like this. But this time, just when the tractor was about to start again, there was a ripple in the classroom. Rose finally appeared in front of everyone in time. Stop Chu Mingshan Chashan from igniting. Misty grass. She has become a beautiful woman. It almost turned into me. Do you want to be so exciting? Xinjiao covered his nose, stubbornly not letting the blood flow out of his nose. Sorry, I'm late, Instructor Yefeng. After Chiangwei appeared, she gave Yefeng a military salute. At this time, Yuhi color appeared on Qi Rin's face. I muttered in my heart. I didn't think he was really an instructor, but I just said he was a black sect. What a shame. But think about it too. How can such a handsome guy lie? No problem. After all the worlds have a basic and highest law, beauty is justice. Master Feng, is there a middle school girl who looks like a female nerd? She is the captain of the Shangbing Company, Reina, shouldn't she be late for the first meeting? Rose frowned. Reina has already come to Earth. But she has been shopping in Juxia City these days. Did not live in Super Seminary. Shouldn't the female nerve forget all the things gathered today? Female nerve. At this time, Reina's voice finally rang from outside the door. I said, Rose, didn't I just borrow you some money to buy clothes? Is it necessary to say that about me behind my back? Reina's voice is nice. Also cute. After her voice fell, Reina walked in with Kabuto's hands in her hands. I'll go, it's alright, the girls in our Shangbing Company are more punctual than each other. Our happy life is about to start. Zhe Xiaolun wiped his saliva. Then he looked at Rose again. He finally decided. Just roses are enough. After all, his favorite is Bigu. Che, Diosi, do you still want to call my attention? Do you know who this goddess is? Lena glared at Zhe Xiaolun and said, I am the goddess of Liang. The future is also your goddess. Goddess. What's wrong with the goddess? We Xiaolun have beaten too many goddesses in the dormitory, right? Xinjiao raised his feet on the table and looked at Reina with a playful expression. He beat the goddess. Which goddess of civilization? Even you earthlings can't beat him. Where did the weak chicken come from? Reina frowned. Isn't the super gene of these guys just activated? Could this be enough to beat the goddess? I really don't understand. It's probably from the civilization of a certain island, Guojia, you'll know about it later. Yifeng said while holding back a smile. Then, Qiren and Qiangwei looked at Yuhi together. See this scene. The night wind was puzzled. Do all the girls in Super Seminary know this? All of them are old drivers. Who are you? Why haven't I seen you in the system database? Lena glanced at Yifeng, then at Qiren, and the girls over there, you two are also from the Shangbing Company. Members. Yes, so do we. My name is Yifeng, and I am your instructor. Yifeng waved at Lena. Instructor. Lena frowned, looked at Qiangwei and asked, seriously. Reina was a little stunned. Her training plan is all out. Now you tell me that there are still instructors in the Shangbing Company. Seriously. Rose nodded. At this time, Lena turned on the Liang Divine Eye, scanned the data on Yifeng's body, and a look of surprise appeared on her face. The primitive genes of the Earthlings. Why is he an Earthling being an instructor of the Shangbing Company? Rina was a little unconvinced, and then swept Qiren by the way, Kamigawa genes of a generation of technology. Can you do it on Earth? Are such soldiers accepted? Reina gradually became arrogant. After all, she is the goddess of the sun star. The 3 generations of Liang super soldiers under his hands are numerous. Naturally, Yifeng and Qiren's genes are disdainful. Stop looking down on people, are you strong? Qiren raised his mouth in dissatisfaction. Of course, I'm your god, Rina, the light of the sun. Reina's mouth twitched slightly, revealing a middle-aged smile. Rina is a god. The main god of Liang Star. Tsunere is completely normal at all. But Qiren is not happy. Everyone is a beautiful girl online. Why should I accept your contempt? Chapter 275_OK, Call Daddy. What sun shines? Isn't it an alien? Dare to fight me? Quote. Qiren stood up unconvinced. How dare you look down on us Earthlings on Earth? Education must be educated. Okay, just fight, can this goddess be afraid of you failing? Rina smiled. She had long been ready to teach the Earthlings a lesson. At this time, Qiangwei stood beside Yifeng and said solemnly, Master Feng, aren't you going to persuade them? Are you really letting them fight here? Yifeng nodded decisively. Fight, why not fight? Girl fighting. And the figure and appearance are very good. They must be beaten. Next. Xinjiao and Jie Xiaolun pushed the table and chairs to the wall with great discernment. Give the 2 girls room to swing. The 3 had expressions of anticipation on their faces. Obviously. Their thoughts are the same as Yifeng. Then, Qiren didn't talk nonsense, and rushed towards Reina in a single step. Don't look at Qiren's thin body. But the fighting skills are not weak. Fist waved. The mountains are rolling. And although Lena is a mage, she is a 3rd-generation divine body after all, and many actions that ordinary people can't do, divine body can do. So, her melee swing ability is not weak. Tisk tisk tisk, girl fights are good looking. Xinjiao showed a strange smile. That's right, look at that spray, it's so exciting. Jie Xiaolun also spit out a smirk. But isn't it a bit too much to hit someone with the ball? Cheng Yaoan smiled naively, and his words gradually started to get out of control. At this time, Yifeng could only sigh. This is really a world where old drivers are blooming everywhere. I think that Yamanaka Yefeng was an old driver when he was in the ninja world. The result came to this super seminary. In front of Jie Xiaolun's gang of hanging silks. He is as simple as a primary school student. Really. Yifeng is actually just an honest man. Master Feng, Qiren doesn't seem to be good enough, do you want to stop them? Qiangwei felt that Qiren seemed to be starting to fall behind. Anyway. She and Qiren are both warriors representing the earth. Qiangwei didn't want to watch Qiren get slapped by Lena. It's alright, just wait, there's me. Yifeng smiled indifferently. 30 minutes later. Rin was already out of breath. Many movements are done weakly, with their own shape, but without their spirit. It was almost reaching her limit. But Reina had no problem at all. After all, people are gods. Physical strength is almost unlimited. If she wants to. With a swing of this size, she could play all day. Haha, what's the matter, can't you dare to play close combat with this goddess? Are you afraid it's not she lazy? On Sunstar. Although most of the warrior's melee abilities are better than Reina's. But on Earth. Reina thinks she's a god. Drink. Reina let out a coquettish cry. Punch slammed into the opening that appeared in front of Rin. Rin's chest with a small fist. Yet at this moment, the night breeze is finally here. His figure flashed. People have come to Rin's side. Then, his palms looked forward. Just right to help Rin block Reina's punch. Ah, this. Lord Shin. What do you think? Jie Shaolun swallowed. Lord Feng Can you still play like this? I see Teme. I knew I would go up to block this punch. Visually, blocking with the back of my head is the best posture. Xinjiao covered his bleeding nose, showing a sigh of relief. Damn, let go of this goddess fist. How dare you hold on to this goddess and not let go? Reina broke free. But this is totally useless. It's a coincidence. I like to be in close contact with goddesses, especially goddesses like you. Yifeng smiled, released Lena's little fist, and said, Lena, Yu Liang will send you if you come to support the earth alone. Is it too unworthy of you to be the main god? The blazing sun once hit the earth's idea. But because of Sun Wukong and Dukao, Liang finally gave up. Now, Earth is in trouble. Liang doesn't even care about his past suspicions. Wouldn't it be possible to send the main god of their family alone? So, Reina, the main god, is actually not as high in gold content as she imagined. Hey, what do you know? Let me come alone. Doesn't that mean that this goddess can save the earth alone? Reina said in dissatisfaction. People who lack something will pay special attention to something. Reina always emphasizes that she is the main god of the sun star in front of the earth people. It's because she, the main god, is so useless. Don't look at Panjen occasionally giving her a little face. But Panjen's subordinates never regarded her as a god. Forced to be toasted. The next man was beaten. Even Reina was asked to dance in public for fun. This is Reina's life in the sun. Sister, have you served it? Do you want to continue fighting? Lena cast a glance at Rin. Just hit well. It was interrupted by this night wind. It's so annoying. Don't fight her, she's a warrior and you're a god. What's the point of fighting her? Otherwise, just fight me. I promise to fight you obediently. Yifeng smiled. Although he was not born in this world. But he is a Chinese after all. How could Liang be able to show off his might in front of him? Are you talking like you're a god too? Lena pouted, thinking Yifeng's words were very problematic. It doesn't matter if I'm a god or not, what matters is that I can call you dad. Nightwind shrugged. Let the light of the sun call Papa. It seems quite exciting to think about. No reason. This goddess must teach you a lesson. Let you feel the glory of the sun. Reina frowned. Subsequently, she raised her hand and snapped her fingers. Immediately after, a black dark alloy armor and a set of blazing sun weapons were carried out by her through the wormhole. Blade of the blazing sun and the shield of broken Akatsuki. Yifeng smiled and said, it seems that the second goddess is serious. Stop talking nonsense. Show off your weapons. Reina is a mage though. But her ability is to use stellar energy to create a Madara explosion. If you really use it recklessly, I am afraid that the entire super seminary can be leveled. So, Reina is going to test Yifeng with the warrior's style of play first. After all, she is a god. Where do you need to use all your strength? Weapons. Then see if you are qualified to let me use weapons. Yifeng's voice fell. A teleportation technique flashed to Reina's side. Then took her to the mountain outside the super seminary with Horaishan. The coordinates here were left when he came out early in the morning to exercise. Just fight here, at least here you call daddy, no one can see it. Nightwind shrugged, showing a playful look. Chapter 276_Millennium Kill, Gentle Version. Reina looked around with solemn eyes. Although this is a canyon. But she was still able to sense the faint energy fluctuations emanating from the super seminary. That is to say, this is no mess. How did you do it? I am a third-generation divine body. If you want to solve me, you must at least have the fourth-generation space-time technology. And technology alone is not enough. You still have to have enough hardware to do the calculations. Reina was only in her 20s. But she is the main god of the Blazing Sun civilization. A lot of knowledge has been forcibly implanted in the brain for a long time. It includes some time and space aspects. Are you curious? Want to know why? Yifeng's mouth twitched, and a smile appeared on his face. Are you willing to say it? Lena looked at Yifeng's expression and always felt that he was not so kind. Of course I will. Yifeng shrugged and said indifferently, but you have to call Dad first. You die for me. Reina became angry when she heard this violent temper. Mess with me. Call Daddy. This goddess is the main god of the Liang. How could it be possible to call you, an earthling, Daddy? Even if this goddess is pushed into the mouth by you with a deadly weapon in the future. I won't call you Daddy either. Reina's voice fell. She immediately slashed a knife in the direction of Yifeng. Immediately. A stellar pulse wave radiated out along the blade. Going straight towards the night wind. Have to say. Plays like Reina that absorb energy directly from the sun and send it out are very efficient. Than the normal ninja hand seal, ninjutsu. After all, not everyone can make 7 seals per second. But even so, the speed of Reina's moves was still too slow for Yifeng. He easily dodged Reina's first attack by turning to the side. Boom! The deviated shock wave directly blew a boulder behind Yifeng into powder. The attack power is not bad, but the speed is too slow. It's impossible for you to hit me like this, so just call me Dad. Yifeng shook his head and commented on Lena's attack. What are you arrogant about? Look at my trick. Reina stabbed a single knife into the ground. The dark energy in the body rolled up. Then he raised his hands lightly. Dozens of miniature radioactive Madara suddenly emerged from her palm. The waves are rising, the waves are rolling. Blast towards the night wind. Reina's tactics this time were simple. Aren't you agile? Then I will come with a large-scale attack. See how you hide. To this. Nightwing nodded. He admits that Reina's tactical arrangements are not bad. Too bad she met the wrong person. Then. Yifeng raised his hand. 9 golden Gudodama truth-seeking ball filed out along his fingertips, condensing into a giant golden shield in front of him. Boom! Miniature Yao Madara struck directly on the shield formed by the Gudodama truth-seeking ball. Although the sound is deafening. But it did not break through the defenses of Gudodama truth-seeking ball. But. Have to mention. Though Gudodama truth-seeking ball has very buggy powers in the Hokage ninja world. That come into contact with Gudodama truth-seeking ball can be broken down directly into atomic states. But. After Yifeng came to the super seminary world. This feature disappeared. Gudodama truth-seeking ball can still be used as a weapon though. Very flexible. But the ability to decompose is gone. It is equivalent to being forcibly weakened by God's will. Although the speed of your shot this time is still very slow, at least you have a lot of brains, so let's test your defense. Yifeng's voice fell. His figure suddenly disappeared in place. Boom. Reina only felt that she had been kicked somewhere behind her. Millennium Kill, Gentle Edition. Then. Reina was kicked all over. My district. Where are you fighting? Do you still have any morals? Lena shouted out in panic. I am a goddess. How can you treat the goddess like this? And then, Nightbreeze's simple hand seal made a continuous shadow clone. Go and hammer her. The Night Wind gave an order. 100,000 inches shadow clone rushed up immediately. 1 foot and 1 foot. Unscrupulously kicked Reina. There is no pity. I don't know if it's because Yifeng stayed with the monkey for too long. Did you forget that the little sister is used to love? But, although Reina was beaten badly, but Yifeng never broke her defense. It's not that the Night Wind is reluctant. And Reina's body is really hard. 3 generations of gods combined with Liang's dark alloy armor, this defensive power is really good. Yifeng thought while rubbing his chin. The realm in the super god world is actually quite chaotic. According to Yifeng's current understanding, realm can be measured from 2 dimensions. One is the genetic algebra in the body. For example, the first generation of genes, the second generation of genes, the third generation of genes. Different generations of genetic technology are not the same. It's easy to tell the difference. But it does not mean that the super genes produced by the third generation technology are necessarily more powerful than the super genes produced by the first generation technology. It also depends on the characteristics of the genes. For example, a third generation giant cannot defeat the second generation space-time. The other are warriors and gods. In the known universe, most organisms with super genes are warriors. There are only a few gods. And 3 generations of genes become gods are 3 generations of gods. The second generation gene becoming a god is the second generation god body. But gene replacement is relatively easy. So, in the new era, almost all gods are 3 generations of gods. After all, there are enough resources to improve the 3 generations of divine bodies. Is there still a little bit of genetic resources? Yifeng, you are really deceiving people. This goddess is going to go crazy. Lena shouted loudly in embarrassment in the air, the sun is helium flash. Reina's voice fell. Subsequently, she spread her arms. A blazing golden light burst out from her body. Yifeng frowned. His shadow clone is strong. But it's different from the monkey's clone technique. The biggest difference between the two is that all the feelings shadow clone suffers will be transmitted back to the body. Although in some cases, this sense of return is very powerful. But if so many shadow clones are flashed by Reina with helium, that Night Wind is expected to collapse. It's no wonder that Naruto's nickname is called Wear Pain. Shadow clone was poked at balloons all day long. Will he be in pain? Bang bang bang. Yifeng took the initiative to remove shadow clone. Subsequently, a handful of Gudodama truth-seeking ball sunk into the ground. Multiple 6 red sun formations. Jinchuriki column barriers composed of UV-colored transparent flames instantly enveloped Reina. Boom. Solar helium flash explosion. The multiple 6 red sun formations were directly torn apart. But the remaining power of the helium flash explosion is not much. Yifeng directly used the Horizon formation to send the remaining helium flashes to Wagwo Mountain. Chapter 277_Know the Law of True Fragrance. As expected of the woman with the most destructive power in the entire universe, fortunately, the swing is long enough before casting the spell, as long as you find a way to stop her from using the ultimate move. Yifeng frowned. The strength of the Night Wind itself is super strong. But Yifeng didn't have the god-killing martial arts, so he couldn't break Reina's divine body defense. And Reina can easily kill Earth. How to fight such a fight has to be carefully considered. How is it? I'm afraid this goddess doesn't show her power. I really think I'm a sick cat. Lena's mouth lifted lightly, completely forgetting the pain behind her, and then she folded her hands together. Fusion shock wave. Boom. Another big skill hit. Fusion pulse is one of Reina's signature moves. The principle is actually very simple. Reina draws the fusion energy from the sun and converts it into a pulse wave that is sent straight out. The form is somewhat similar to the angel's heavenly blade judgment. However, the single combat effect of the fusion shockwave is much more flexible than the trial of the sky blade. Because once this move hits the target, even if the opponent's armor can resist the damage, but the energy generated by fusion can still cause the enemy to fall into a brief stun. The power is very strong. Fortunately, at the speed of the night wind, it would not be hit at all. I saw a breeze blowing under his feet. The figure instantly disappeared in place. As long as I'm fast enough, you can't hit me, Yifeng said calmly. Want to run? It's okay. Anyway, this goddess still has a lot of big moves, be careful I start the cosmic war mode. Reina saw that Yifeng had changed from an attacking stance to a fleeing stance. She started to float again. She felt that she was sure to be stable. Yet at this moment, a shadow clone of Yifeng suddenly emerged from the soil under Reina's feet. Boom! Shadow clone kicked Reina into the air with one kick. Then, 4 more Yifeng shadow clones rose into the sky, grabbed Lena's limbs, caught her off guard, and pressed her to the ground. And then, Yifeng's body took 6 or 7 shadow clones, each holding a colorful feather, and rushed up. True Jiraiya torture technique. Yifeng has already realized the essence of dealing with Reina. Isn't it just explosive? Isn't the energy almost infinite? I interrupt your reading. Wouldn't it be okay to let your skills not come out? Really? Relying on the superb technique, Yifeng tossed Lena to death, completely unable to concentrate on gathering energy in her body. This scene. Naturally, it was seen by Dukao and Lianfeng in the command room of the super seminary. The expressions on their faces looked strange. Lao Du, is it really okay to go on like this? In case Yifeng does something excessive, then how can we explain it to Lai Yang? Lianfeng swallowed his saliva. Do young people nowadays play like this? And they look like they are having fun. But Master Feng, didn't he stay with Brother Monkey for more than 300 years? How did he learn this technique? Rose's eyes are a little weird. She felt that Yifeng's character might be about to collapse. Wait first, I don't think Yifeng is a swinger. He shouldn't be playing games with Reina, he should be fighting. Dukao's eyes were splendid. See the essence of things at a glance. At the same time, Yifeng is fighting recklessly. Hey, I haven't experienced this for a long time. It was all brought up by that old guy from Jiraiya. I am an honest person. Yifeng shook his head. There was a distressed look on his face. Ha ha, hee hee, hoo, hurry up and stop, I'm going to die, this goddess is really dying, please forgive me, I can't take it anymore. Reina was extremely itchy when Yifeng scratched her. But her body was firmly controlled by Yifeng's 4 shadow clone. So, Reina can barely wiggle her body. There is absolutely no way. But such a twist. Instead, it seems to have fueled Yifeng's bad taste. Make his actions more reckless. Please let me go, you can let me do anything. Just let me go, really anything, this goddess promises you everything. Reina burst into tears. Perhaps. This is crying with joy. Do anything, who do you imagine me to be? Am I the type to take advantage of others? Yifeng shook his head. He felt that the game was not enough. But, considering that they may be being monitored by Dukao now, Yifeng also felt that he was trying to maintain his image in Chiangwei and Lianfeng's eyes. It's almost time to give up. Well, call me Dad, and I'll stop if it sounds nice. Yes. Yifeng is a person who never forgets his original intention. He had already made it clear before the fight with Reina. The Lena he was going to beat this time was called Dad. So, this step still needs to be created for Reina. You, haha, you're going too far, hee, you don't want to be delusional, hee, my dignified Liang Lord God. Ho ho, How can I call the earth? Where's the father? Ah. Dad. ... The command room of the super seminary. A loud and pleasant, "Dad," came from the monitor. That moment, the entire command center was silent. Even the cooling fan of the machine has consciously reduced the power. Du Kao looked at Lianfeng. Look at the rose again. The three looked at each other. They stated that the scene was so overstimulated that it caused unreasonable comfort. You can, please ask Reina's psychological shadow area. Rose's eyes twitched. She always felt that the future of the Shangbing company would be a little wrong. But Du Kao was overjoyed. Good. Very good. As expected of the instructor I invited. No one else has this educational ability. Even the goddess of the sun can be adjusted successfully. This educational ability. Who dares to say that he is not strong? So, Du Kao is convinced that under the leadership of Yefeng, the Shangbing company will definitely become what he wants. At this time, in the valley, Nightwind has removed all shadow clones. Although the Nightwind game is very enjoyable. But game over. That dull feeling came again. Knew it. Appetizers are delicious. It also does not replace the role of the main dish. Little Lena, remember to me in the future. Don't be arrogant in front of your father, especially don't look down on the people of the earth. After all, this is the earth, not your blazing sun. Yifeng warned Reina. To be honest. Although the blazing sun is Bulbeep. But it is not so easy to conquer the earth. After all, Huasha not only has a bunch of children of luck, but also a coercion like Yifeng. Chapter 278 _ The body is incense. Go away. I don't have a father like you. Reina got up from the ground panting. Pain and excitement on his face. That feeling is complicated. But, in any case, she is the main god of Liang Star. Shame like this. Unacceptable. Don't get excited, I have 99 ways to play like just now, don't you want to experience them all? Yifeng shrugged and reminded kindly. Have to say. The divine body is the divine body. If it were Hinata and the others. It is estimated that 3 shadow clone will not be able to carry them in 5 minutes. You. Reina quickly took 3 steps back in fright. A sudden shock hit. Then he glanced at the ground again. There is some fear in my heart. Okay, I was just joking with you just now. You are the captain of the Shangbing company, so you have to look like a captain. If you look down on one and the other, why are you here on earth? Continue to be your person in your Liang. Wouldn't it be enough to be a puppet? Yifeng said. What kind of human-shaped puppet? I am the main god, the supreme god of the Liang civilization. Lena pouted in disapproval. Humanoid puppet. It's a little weird to hear it. Whether the Liang people regard you as the supreme god, you know best in your heart. Yifeng glanced at Lena. Actually, traveling through the world of Hokage ninjas. He just watched Liang Heavenly Path 1. In here, Reina lived a very dignified life. Not only was she often forced to drink alcohol by Pan Zhen's subordinates, but she also had to dance at banquets to please Pan Zhen. Can a god like her be considered a god? To be honest, Reina has no parents. She is nothing more than an artificial god created from the genes of the sun's light. Liang's masters naturally do not recognize her very much. Yefeng, am I familiar with you? Can you not act like you know me well? Reina frowned. Changed her usual sophomore appearance. After she came to Earth, Reina always called herself the sun goddess in front of Rose. It is the god of the sun and the god of the earth. This made Chiangwei feel that Reina was a middle schooler. However, the reason why Reina is so obsessed with the name of God. It was precisely because she was treated unfairly on Liang Star. She wants to be a god so much. Reina really hopes that she can be recognized as a true god on Earth this time. But Reina was clearly too young. She was so young that she didn't know how to fully utilize her divine body. Don't be discouraged, since you have chosen to come to Earth to support you. You are my Yifeng's friend. I might really be able to help you become a worthy lord of the Sun God in the future. Yifeng shrugged and said slowly, after all, you call me daddy. The first half of Yifeng's sentence also made Reina a little excited. But the second half of the sentence almost made Reina go wild. Fuck me, if you dare to mention this again in the future. Be careful, I'll blow up your Earth. Reina glared at Yifeng angrily. It looked like he was about to smash Yifeng's chest with a small fist. If she hadn't been afraid of Yifeng's wife. Maybe it's already up. Okay, I won't mention it if I don't mention it. But I'm not kidding you about helping you regain Liang's divine power. Yifeng said. Don't look at Yifeng, who can't break the defense of the 3 generations of gods. But he is a qualified opener. Later, he can definitely surpass Reina. It's just you. Do you think Panjen and the others are vegetarians? Lena shook her head. Although Reina's genetic model is very advanced. But Panjen is also very strong. Although Lena has never seen Panjen take a shot. But Panjen always gave her a terrible feeling. Don't worry, isn't it little pansy? I'll help you call Panjen to call your mother in the future. Yifeng said with a smile. Mom, Lena chuckled and said with some disgust, I don't want such an old son. Speak up. Reina is already in her early 20s. But the life she lived in Liang Star was not a normal life at all. So Reina's psychology is indeed rather naive. This is not. Yifeng teased her a little. She forgot the fear of being dominated by Yifeng just now. Then the two said some bad things around Panjen again. At this time, Dukao and Lianfeng landed in the valley where they were by helicopter. Laodu, are you here? Yifeng greeted indifferently. The monitoring capability of the Denuo 3 satellite is super strong. He and Reina are here to fight like this. Yifeng knew that Dukao and the others must have seen it long ago. Well, we just passed by here, what are you doing? Of course Dukao wouldn't tell Reina. We've heard you call daddy in the whole room. But he couldn't let Yifeng continue to do things here. So he had to pretend that he just happened to pass by when he came back from a trip. At this time, Reina was like a blank sheet of paper. Simply heartbreaking. So how can Reina understand these routines of Dukao? Her expression was a little weird, and then she glared at Yifeng secretly and forcibly explained a wave. It's nothing, I'm the captain of the Shangbing Company, and he is the instructor of the Shangbing Company. Let's go out to relax and discuss how to manage the Shangbing Company in the future. That's it. Well, that's good. In the future, you should often discuss like this today. Lianfeng suppressed a smile. He teased Lena secretly. Discuss often. Lena couldn't help but fight a cold war and said, no, we have reached a consensus, so let's talk less in the future. Reina pouted. This goddess is really bad for Liunin. Just got to Earth. I actually met someone like Yifeng. Okay then, now that you have finished discussing, let me drop by to take you back. Dukao smiled. He was very satisfied with Reina and Yifeng's performance. The soldier company needs the support of the fiery sun. Otherwise, they simply don't have dark iron to make dark alloy armor for the male company. But if Reina, the captain, can really control the lifeline of the male company, that's not good for the planet either. But now it's different. There is night wind. Maybe Reina, the goddess, will have to accompany her to Earth in the future. Back to the classroom. The little friends stared at Yifeng and Reina with staring eyes. The expression was obviously a little unnatural. Xiaolun, did you say this girl called Feng Yi dad? Xinjiao whispered 8 trigrams beside Zhe Xiaolun's ear. I think it's hard enough. You can see that she is so cold and cold. She shouldn't have any bottom line. Zhe Xiaolun touched his chin, glanced at Cheng Yaoan, who was not particularly present, and asked, Yaowen, what do you think? I don't know how. I just feel a little uncomfortable on the top of my head right now. Cheng Yaowen was very puzzled. He is the prince of the Light Shield family of the Dexing royal family. Dexing's Earth Heart. Why do I feel a green light in front of my eyes? Sick. This can't be done. Chapter 279 _ Do you want to call Daddy too? Okay, let's stop arguing. Dukao stepped onto the podium, glanced at them, and said, Today is the first official assembly of the Shangbin Company. I hope you can forget about the past, because the future of life will refresh your understanding of the world. Shangbin Company is the name of the team that was officially discussed. Meaning is, not a single soldier in this team can compare to 1,000,000 soldiers. Emma, I'm not telling you guys, I don't need the future, my 3 views have just been refreshed by Feng Yi. Lu Chuang sat in the corner of the classroom and said weakly. Just. Although they did not see the specific situation in the distant valley. But there's obviously a lot of artillery fire over there. Originally based on their guesses, Yifeng and Reina had to die anyway. But did the 2 of them come back so peacefully? Even the clothes are the same as when you went out. This is not right. Quite wrong. Yifeng, as the instructor of the Shangbin Company, how do you plan to train this team? Can you tell us about your ideas first? Dukao asked curiously. A company of soldiers is different from a regular army. In addition to Qi Rin, the other genes in the human body are the top genes of Denuo. They must also train differently. Like running 10 kilometers a day. 100 push-ups. Sit up 100 times. Squat 100 times. This way down. Even make them all bald. They won't get stronger either. It's simple. Rose showed me their information last night, and I will provide them with special training according to their physical characteristics. Yifeng said indifferently. Isn't that just tuning? We are professional. Che, what you said is simple. This goddess asked Liang's 2 masters to help me analyze it for 3 days, and they came up with an optimal training plan. You can come up with it in 1 night. Lena said angrily. In the end you are too windy at night. Or are my Liang's masters all spicy chickens? It's impossible. Qirin glanced at Lena with disdain, and raised her eyebrows. Feng is so handsome, everything is possible. Everything is possible. Lena smiled disdainfully. She just wanted to say something to Qirin. But Reina thought about what she had just called. Immediately lost his mind. Surely anything is possible. Yifeng, then you can introduce your training plan to everyone, just in time for everyone to discuss. Dukao said. Yes, but there are too many of them, so I have to explain them one by one. Yifeng glanced at Qiangwei and Xinjiao indifferently, and said, Tell me about the 2 of you first. The 2 of us. Qiangwei and Xinjiao glanced at each other. Is this going to force us to group CP? Can't it? Yes, one of your 2 characteristics is fast, and the other is able to open wormholes, so I position you as assassins. Yifeng said. In a team, assassins are indispensable. The Shangbin Company has 2 assassins. This lineup is simply luxurious. Ah, Xinjiao looked at Yifeng with a bewildered expression and asked, Master Feng. I'm an assassin, am I not a warrior? Xinjiao was confused. In the profile of the super seminary, he clearly saw that it was written as a warrior. Now, how could he be made an assassin again? Don't talk nonsense, I said you are an assassin, you are an assassin, can you just be careful? Do you want to be called Dad too? Yifeng glared at Xinjiao. At this time, the entire classroom suddenly fell silent. The little friends secretly glanced at Reina. Also, want to call Dad. The word, also, is not right. This shows. The second goddess has already been called. The 2 of them were just in the deep mountains and old forests. Wet firewood. Scorching sun. What happened between them? And are your clothes torn at all? There is only one truth. The old drivers nodded tacitly. Only Reina was still stunned. What about you? What are you looking at me for? Are you having a brain problem? Reina gave Xinjiao a look of contempt. Liang's Taishi's positioning of the Dexing gun is also an assassin. Did not expect. Yifeng, this kid has something. Okay, I'm going to continue. To avoid embarrassment. Yifeng quickly changed the subject. Assassin's style of play is actually very simple. You either don't make a shot, or you have to hit it with one hit. Of course. Considering that both of you are rookies now. Then you must at least make sure that you get out of your body after a single blow in the early stage. So the training method I arranged for you is to grab the bell. After Yifeng finished speaking, Xinjiao and Qiangwei looked at each other again. Both of them could see each other's confusion in each other's eyes. It is clear. Neither of them understood what the assassin had to do with the bell. Then, Yifeng took out a bell from his pocket and hung it on his waist. There is only one bell, whoever grabs it wins. It doesn't matter if you can't grab it, I will counterattack after your surprise attack. Whoever avoids the most counterattacks will win. Do you understand? After Yifeng introduced Xinjiao and Qiangwei's training plan, the two of them glanced at each other again. This time, their eyes finally changed. So we are not teammates but opponents. Master Feng, since the winners and losers are divided, what are the rewards for winning and the punishment for losing? Jie Xiaolun asked. Good question. No rewards and punishments can't make a circle. Yifeng nodded, thought about it for a second, and said, if you lose, you have to wear tights for training. This is punishment. Hi. Jie Xiaolun's eyes slightly curved, and he glanced at Qiangwei secretly, then made a gesture towards Xinjiao, saying, Master Xin. Come on. What about the winner? Xinjiao asked. The reward for winning is that you don't have to wear tights. Yifeng said. This. Xinjiao frowned, then laughed again. It's okay. Seeing Sister Qiangwei wearing tights is a reward in itself, haha, I know everything. Che, do you think I'll lose to you? Qiangwei sneered indifferently, it's really beyond my own power. Qiangwei has been receiving professional training in the regular army since she was a child. Moreover, her genes are space-time genes, and she can be instantly transformed through micro-wormholes. How could she possibly lose? Again. With her figure. Usually wearing a t-shirt jeans is the same tight. The effect of tights ah. What's so exciting about these slings? Not understand. Master Feng, what about me? My characteristic is a tough body, so how should I train to bring out my strengths? Jie Xiaolun asked with a smirk. I am not talented at someone. In fact, there is already a set of mature training programs. It depends on which girl is willing to cooperate. Chapter 280 _ the training program of the Soldier Company. You. Easy. You are the invincible body. There is only one way to develop the invincible body, and that is to be beaten. So you can just lie down and move from now on. Yifeng glanced at Jie Xiaolun. Don't look at Jie Xiaolun, this kid is a Diosi now. But the genes in his body are the power of the Silver River. There is an anti-void power hidden. Once activated it's pretty nasty. But now. Or get beaten up. Being beaten. Jie Xiaolun smiled naively, rubbed the back of his head, feeling a little bad. Don't make trouble, Lord Feng. Can you call training even if you lie still? No trouble, Yifeng is right. If you want to develop an invincible body, you must accept severe beatings. My Grand Master also said the same. Reina also nodded. This goddess has long been unhappy with seeing you as a dick. Just get beaten up honestly. Ah, but if I lie still, who will move? Or teach Sister Na the job of beating me up? Jie Xiaolun originally hoped that Rose could come. But Qiangwei wants to swing with Xinjiao. He could only pin his hopes on others. Me. Lena raised her mouth, not understanding what Jie Xiaolun said at all. I am the light of the sun, be careful that I will blow you up with one shot. Ah, Why do I suddenly have a little anticipation? Jay Xiaolun smirked again. Have to say. Don't look at chasing girls for single dogs this year. But it's really tough to drive. The speed of the car is like a rocket. Don't think too much, Lena, I have other arrangements. When the time comes, Lao Du can arrange for an artillery to bombard you. Yifeng said lightly. One by one. Knowing drag racing all day long. What a mess. Do you have proof? After Jay Xiaolun listened to Yifeng's arrangement, his face turned green. That's it. Doesn't that make me think too much? That's an artillery company. Where is this going to blow me up? This is clearly meant to blow me up. What the hell did I, Jay Xiaolun, do? Yifeng, what do you mean? What do you mean by having other arrangements for me? Lena frowned suddenly, looked at Yifeng and asked, do you mean to tell me that I am the captain of the heroic company? Have to be trained by you too? Rena is not happy. She is God. It's enough to just blast others. Is this still training? Nonsense, your destructive power is indeed very strong, but the front swing of your skills is too long. And as a mage, how can you only stand up for output? Isn't this going to be rubbed against the ground by enemy snipers and assassins every minute? What if the other party has a god-killing martial art? Said here. Qi Rin again. The same is true of Qi Rin. You are characterized by accurate shooting, and you are a natural super sniper. But what you will experience in the future is a cosmic battle, and the other party can easily scan your hiding place, so whether a mage or a sniper, you must learn how to attack while moving. Don't look at Teodi as a weak chicken in the eyes of a god-level civilization. But put it on this side of the earth. The technology level of Gluttonous is definitely the level of the big guy on the technology side. And behind the Gluttonous is Carl, the god of death of the sticks. In case Carl bestows them a few god-killing weapons. Narena's divine body is not necessarily enough to see. So, routine combat mode will definitely not work. Chirin and Reina had to learn to run and fight. Che, I thought it was training. It turned out to be such a simple thing. This is a piece of cake for this goddess, but the other one is not necessarily. Lena curled her lips. Hey, what do I mean? I'm definitely fine. Just wait and see. Chirin puffed out his chest to be outdone. Then, why are you arguing again? Why don't you fight again? Yifeng touched his chin. Thinking of the two sides just collided with the ball. He felt that the scene was still a bit okay. Okay, don't make trouble, Yifeng, go on. Dukao grabbed the car keys and stopped the car. At this time, Lu Chuang suddenly raised his hand. Then what? Lord Feng, didn't you say that my ability to slash gods is very reliable? It seems that only Rena is a god here, right? Why not let the two of us team up? I can just cut her off. Lu Chuang endured it for a long time. Finally, I couldn't help but jump out. They say he has the power to kill gods. But if you don't cut a god to see. So how to reflect the role of the power of killing gods? I'll go, you can, brother, you actually want to kill this goddess. Are you tired of living? Lena glared at Lu Chuang. God's body is so powerful. It is because the divine body can keep the physical body immortal by receiving energy. And the defense is super high. But slaughtering the gods can directly destroy the genes of the gods. To achieve the effect of hitting the body of God. Advanced slaying gods can even damage 3 generations of gods. Lu Chuang's gene is called God-killing power. This means that his whole person is a high-level God-killing martial arts. Lu Chuang, don't make trouble. Although your sister Na is a god, she is a weak chicken. If you really hack her to death, who will be in charge of selling cuteness in the future? Are you? Yifeng glanced at Lu Chuang angrily. Reina is already very pitiful. Can you give her a little more love? Just like this instructor. At this time, when Reina heard Yifeng describe her words, couldn't resist turning the Byakugan straight. Weak chicken. Acting cute. I said Yifeng, don't go too far, no matter what, I'm a goddess. Lena emphasized her goddess status again. Got it, goddess is good, can goddess sit down? Yifeng stepped forward and patted Lena's little head. In the eyes of the public, he is like a loving father. Master Feng, but if you don't let me kill Sister Na, how are you going to train me? Lu Chuang asked. Don't let me cut the second goddess. You don't want me to kill you, do you? Then I have to dare. You train with Cheng Yaoan, Yifeng said while rubbing his chin. Huh. Cheng Yaoan and Lu Chuang looked at each other. Apparently they didn't particularly understand this arrangement. Emma, Lord Feng, what's the rationale for arranging the two of us as a group? Lu Chuang asked, very puzzled. The principle is very simple. Yifeng shrugged his shoulders habitually, looked at them and explained. Lu Chuang is a warrior, the realm you should reach is to go forward. That is, no matter what is ahead, you have to go up unscrupulously. Okay. But what about me? Cheng Yaoan said naively. Lu Chuang is a warrior but I'm not. You shouldn't let him cut me, right? I'm not a god. Yifeng looked at Cheng Yaoan and said. You are in control of the field, so the realm you have to achieve is that no matter what happens in front of you, you should be like Shisui, control every enemy according to the rhythm, and there must be no panic. So, you two, one is attacking and the other is defending. In principle, it is very suitable for team training.